निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. Distinguished guests, respected faculty members, esteemed alumni, dear students, and honored friends. It is with immense pride and profound gratitude that I, Shakunda Rao, faculty of PG Department of Philosophy, extend a warm welcome to each of you on this auspicious occasion of ICPR sponsored seminar on yoga organized by Department of Philosophy, Vikram Dev University, Jeypore. We now proceed with a sacred and symbolic tradition, the Diya lighting ceremony, as a tribute to our Almighty Lord Jagannath. Light symbolizes happiness and prosperity. It discards the forces of darkness and gives us positivity and life. With this spirit, let us move towards lighting the lamp. I would like to request our respected dignitaries on the dais to kindly join us in this auspicious ceremony. At the same time, I humbly request everyone to stand and offer a prayer seeking blessings for the smooth and successful conduct of today's event. Let the light of the Diya illuminate our path, bringing wisdom, peace, and prosperity to this gathering. दीपं ज्योति परं ज्योति दीपं ज्योति जनार्दन दीपं हरतु मे पापं दीपं ज्योति नमस्तुते शुभं करतु कल्याणं आरोग्यं सुख संपदा द्वेषबुद्धि विनाशाय आत्मज्योति नमस्तुते आत्मज्योति प्रदीप्ताय ब्रह्मज्योति नमस्तुते ब्रह्मज्योति प्रदीप्ताय गुरुर्ज्योति नमस्तुते. Nine two one six.
वो मैंने मैसेज क्या रात में देखी तो क्या चल रहा पॉट मिस्टर बनीला तो पोस्ट वाले तो फोन की दवाड़ बड़ा सा करना पर और क्या होता है ऐसे काम
नमस्ते. ଟିକେ ସମୟ ପଢ଼ିବି ତାପରେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଲେ ଯାଉ. Respected dignitaries, esteemed guests, and all the spectators, with all our love, pride, and respect, I invite everyone to join in singing the state anthem of Odisha on this special occasion. This anthem represents our culture, our pride, and the very essence of our existence. It reflects our honor, collective efforts, and sentiments as a united community. I kindly request everyone to rise and sing with full reverence, paying tribute to the state of Odisha with the spirit of unity and pride.
Vande Utkala Janani, 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 Vande Utkala Janani. चारु भासमय जननी 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 वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी पूर्णपयोधि विभूत शरीरा ताळतमाळ सुशोभित तीरा सुप्रकटिनि कोड शिखर समीरा जननी 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 वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी घन घन वन भूमि राजित अंगे नीलकुधर माल साजित रंगे कण कण मुखरित चारु विहंगे जननी 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 वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी
A bouquet presentation is a special way of expressing gratitude, appreciation, or admiration to someone by giving them a bunch of flowers. So I would like to request our students to give our honorable guest.
Sound କମ ହଉଛି
Now I would like to invite our respected convener, Sri Francis Barla sir, to come over here for welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. Respected chief guests, esteemed dignitaries, distinguished speakers, dear colleagues, participants, and my dear students. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this seminar on relevance of yoga in present day society. It's organized by the Department of Philosophy, Vikram Dev University, Jeypore, and it is sponsored by ICPR New Delhi on the occasion of International Yoga Day. On behalf of the Department of Philosophy, I have the honor to welcome our chief guest, or chief patron, Professor Devi Prasad Misra, Honourable OSD, Vikram Dev University, Jeypore, who has graciously accepted our invitation and join us today. We are truly privileged by your presence. Sir, welcome you. I also extend a special welcome to our today's keynote speaker, Professor Ganesh Prasad Das, formerly head PG Department of Philosophy, Vikram Dev University, Utkal University, Bhubaneswar. He is with us online today. We are grateful for your commitment and presence. I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to our Registrar, Sri Maheswar Chandra Naik. Despite his busy schedule, he is now with us. We are privileged to have you. I also take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Kumar Patra, CPGC, Vikram Dev University, who is truly privileged by your presence. We have with us famous environmentalist, Sri Harish Chandra Parida. On the behalf of the Department of Philosophy, Vikram Dev University, we welcome you, sir. At the end, all the speakers, all the resource persons, guest of honor, yoga instructor, participants, a very warm welcome to you all. Your enthusiasm and active participation are what make this seminar meaningful and successful. Ladies and gentlemen, this seminar aims to promote the significance of yoga in our day-to-day life and how to apply this for our physical and mental well-being. I hope the session today will be enriching, engaging, and enlightening for all. On behalf of the organizing team or organizing department and ICPR New Delhi, I once again welcome you all and wish this seminar a grand success. Once again, thank you everyone.
At this time, to provide further insights into our distinguished guest, let's welcome to our organizing secretary, Captain Dr. Lakshman Patra. Please say.
Honourable Vice Chancellor, Professor Devi Prasad Misra, Vikram Dev University, Jeypore, respected today's guest of honor, Sri Harish Chandra Parida, great environmentalist, social reformer, respected my teacher, Professor Ganesh Prasad Das, who is online with us, today's keynote address speaker, respected Registrar Maheswar Chandra Naik sir, respected CPGC Dr. Kumar Patra, respected today's speaker, Professor Amulya Mohapatra, Professor Dinesh Kumar Swahi, AIPH University, respected yoga instructor, Chief Bhagirathi Prani, and participants, our dear colleagues, my dear students. I welcome all of you. Today's seminar, I sponsored seminar on yoga, relevance of yoga in the present society. So it is my task to introduce to our guests. At first, my duty to introduce the chief guest, today's chief guest, Professor Devi Prasad Misra. It is my utmost privilege to introduce a distinguished personality, a prolific scholar, a dedicated educator, an exceptional organizer, and a dynamic administrator. It is with great honor that I present to you our respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Devi Prasad Misra. Professor Misra is the inaugural OSD cum Vice Chancellor of our beloved Vikram Dev University. The Government of Odisha has entrusted him with the monumental responsibility of leading our newly upgraded university, nestled in the tribal heartland of Odisha. Under his visionary leadership, this university has begun its journey on path of progress and excellence. His tenure has truly exemplified the timeless wisdom of the saying, well begun is half done. The remarkable strides made under his guidance, such as the establishment of NSS Bureau, the inspection of MBA department, and the successful affiliation of all colleges under the university, are clear testaments of his leadership and commitment to academic and infrastructural growth. Before assuming the role of Vice Chancellor, Professor Misra served with distinction as the Professor and Head of the Department of Business Management at FM University, Maheswar. He has also contributed significantly to Berhampur University, Berhampur in various capacities. His exemplary leadership extended to serving as the Chairman of the PG Council, Director of the DDC, Director of IPSC, Director of the College Development Council, and as a member of the Syndicate of FM University. Professor Misra contributes to academia, research, and literature are nothing short of remarkable. He has guided 27 PhD scholars, 1 DLT, and 22 MPhil students to the pinnacle of academic achievement. Additionally, his profile scholarly output includes 12 books, 125 research papers, and 3 patents. His academic endeavors have been further showcased by over 100 presentations at national and international conferences and seminars. Thank you, sir. Your presence is highly enthusiastic to us. Next, our today's guest of honor, Sri Harish Parida, a great environmentalist who is very popularly in the undivided Koraput for his social activity like Goseva. Harish Parida is a renowned headmaster and a dedicated teacher of Malkangiri district of Odisha. His elegant personality and a devoted teaching strategies inspired hundreds of tribal children of Malkangiri aspirational district into the mainstream. His sincerity and social responsibility has proved its optimus excellence when one can see his successful students contributing Mother India in different fields. Besides teaching, Sri Parida is a passionate social activist and an accountable environmentalist. His commitment for Goseva, planting trees, extending his helping hands to backward children are his contribution to Mother Earth. Besides, he is a good orator, motivational speaker, and a panelist. Particularly, his humble behavior and concentric efforts to do away with the disparity in the society is an example to bridge social gaps. Above all, he is a noble human being with simplicity and honesty. We are privileged to get his graceful presence in the occasion. Thank you, sir. Next, our Registrar, Sri Maheswar Naik, Maheswar Chandra Naik graduated from DIB College, Koraput, MA from JNU in 1993. He joined Odisha Administrative Service in the year 1999. Since 1999 to present, he has assigned different duties by the government of Odisha, like Deputy Collector, Additional Tahsildar, Special Land Acquisition Officer at Raigada, Tahsildar at Jeypore, RTO at Sambalpur, PITDA, Kusinda, Additional PD and PDD RDA, Additional District Magistrate from Sundargarh to Nabarangpur, and lastly, he is now joining in the month of March as a Registrar of Vikram Dev University. I welcome sir. Our next today's guest, Dr. Patra, CPGC, PG Council Chairman, who is a very popularly known as a good teacher in the campus. He is a man of botany, who is not only a beloved teacher but also a dedicated organizer and ever smiling face of our university. He is none other than our esteemed chairman of the Postgraduate Council, Dr. Patra. Is widely cherished by the student and he tirelessly works to ensure their academic and personal well-being. So I welcome you, sir. And with us, our today's speaker, Professor Dinesh Kumar Swami, Professor Amulya Ranjan Mohapatra, and yoga instructor, and our teacher, Professor Ganesh Prasad, who is online. At the time of their presentation, I will introduce briefly, and thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now it is my distinct honor to invite our esteemed chief guest, Professor Devi Prasad Misra, Vice Chancellor, Vikram Dev University, Jeypore, to share your valuable insights with us.
Anyway, no problem. Ago kohiba katha kon, pacho kohiba katha kichi, there is no difference. Good morning to all of you. Respected Registrar Sri Maheswar Chandra Naik, respected guest of honor of today's function, Sri Harish Chandra Parida, respected CPGC, Dr. P.K. Patra, respected Head of the Department of Philosophy, Sri Francis Barla, respected Organizing Secretary of today's function, Dr. Lakshman Patra, respected and distinguished personalities sitting off the dais, respected faculty members, and my beloved dear students. Really, I am very, very happy that the university is organizing one-day seminar on yoga under the leadership of Dr. Lakshman Patra. As you know, yoga is a holistic discipline with spiritual and physical dimensions. It is deeply rooted in ancient Indian tradition, centered on uniting the mind, body, and spirit. It speaks or seeks to foster inner harmony and balance. As you know that the term yoga, it has come from the Sanskrit word yog, means to join or to unite. Through this yoga practice, such as physical postures, what you call asanas, breathing techniques, we call it as pranayam, and meditation, yoga promotes overall well-being and enhance the quality of life. Here just I will highlight some key points of yoga. There are, to my mind, it has come 4 to 5 points. One is body, mind, body connection. Yoga seeks to harmonize the mind and body, promoting mental clarity, emotional stability, and physical health. It connects mind and the body. Second one is physical practice, that are a series of postures designed to improve flexibility, strength, and balance, while also relaxing the nervous system in our body. Breath control, that is pranayam. Pranayam technique regulates breathing, influencing energy levels and promoting relaxation. Meditation, it is another aspect of yoga. Yoga incorporates meditation practices to cultivate mindfulness, reduce stress, and enhance self-awareness. And the last one is spiritual growth. Yoga, in its traditional context, aims for spiritual liberation by transcending the limitations of the individual self and uniting with the universal consciousness. Friends, if we practice yoga, we get a number of benefits. It can offer nervous, physical, and mental health benefits, including reduced stress, improved flexibility, enhanced strength, and lowered blood pressure. And here I feel it is pertinent to mention that yoga can be adapted to suit everyone, irrespective of age, to make them fit both mentally and physically. I think during the whole day session, we can learn both physical, theoretical, and practical knowledge on yoga. Eminent speakers and practitioners are here who will speak and give demonstrations on the topic. I hope this seminar will give valuable inputs to our participants, and I am also equally hopeful that the outcome of the seminar will be productive and fruitful. With these few words, once again I congratulate Dr. Patra and his team members for organizing this one-day seminar. Thank you very much. Jai Jagannath. Jai Hind.
It is my pleasure to invite our guest of honor, Sri Harish Parida, Environmentalist, to give address.
सम्मान्य मंचासीन समस्त अधिकारी, सम्मान्य अन्य अधिकारी माने जो माने आज कार्यक्रम को संचालन करेंगे एवं आमर एठारे भाग नौथिया समस्त देशर भविष्य पिला वास्तविक योग विषय कहला बेलू अनेक अवधारणा मन भर आसता है। अवधारणा यह जे योग माने आम आसन प्राणायाम व्यायाम या सीमित रही जाए। योग वास्तविक आसन प्राणायाम व्यायाम पूर्व यहाँ कर कौन सी देवादेवी को आम प्रतिष्ठा करने पूर्व जमी स्थान अर्जन करमती ये व्यवस्था को आम पूर्व ये तीनोटी याक कर सारा
ଯୋଗ ଅର୍ଥାତ ପରମେଶ୍ୱରଙ୍କ ସାଥିରେ ଯୋଡ଼ି ହେବା। ଆମେ ସ୍ୱାଭାବିକ ମୁଁ ଏଠିକି ଆସିଲା ବେଳେ ଦେଖିଥିଲି ଗୋଟେ ପାଣି ବୋତଲରେ ପିଇବା ପାଇଁ ଦିଆଗଲା। ପାଣି ବୋତଲ ପତଳା ପାଣି ବୋତଲ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରିବା କଥା ନୁହଁ, ୟୁଜ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଥ୍ରୋ। ଏହା ପରିବେଶକୁ ଅତ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଭାବରେ ନଷ୍ଟ କରେ। ତେଣୁ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟର ଯୋଉ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା କରୁଛେ, ମଣିଷର ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟ ସମ୍ପନ୍ନ ହେବା କଥା, ସେ ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟ ସମ୍ପନ୍ନ ହେବା ପାଇଁ ଶାରୀରିକ, ମାନସିକ, ସାମାଜିକ ଏବଂ ଆଧ୍ୟାତ୍ମିକ 4 ପ୍ରକାର ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟ ବିଷୟରେ ସଚେତନତା ରହିବା କଥା। ଶରୀର ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟ ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ବ୍ୟାୟାମ କରୁଛେ, ମାନସିକ ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟ ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ପ୍ରାଣାୟାମ କରୁଛେ ଏବଂ ଆଧ୍ୟାତ୍ମିକ ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟ ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ପରମେଶ୍ୱରଙ୍କର ଆରାଧନା କରିବା କଥା। ମଣିଷ ଭୁଲିଯାଏ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ସମାଜ ଭିତରେ ଅଛୁ, ଯାହା ଯେ ଭିତରେ ଅଛୁ, ସେ ଭିତରଟା କଣ? ଆମେ ଖାଉଛେ, ଖାଦ୍ୟ କଥା ଚିନ୍ତା କରୁଛେ। 6 ପ୍ରକାର ଯୋଉ ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଅଛି, 6 ପ୍ରକାର ଶ୍ୱେତସାର, ପୁଷ୍ଟିସାର, ସ୍ନେହସାର, ଧାତୁସାର, ଜୀବସାର ଆଉ ଜଳ। ନା ଆଉ ଗୋଟିଏ ଖାଦ୍ୟ କଥା ଆମେ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛୁ ସମସ୍ତେ, ସେଇଟା ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଖାଦ୍ୟ, ଯୋଉଟାକି ହଉଛି ଆମର ପବନ, ବାୟୁ। ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ସମସ୍ତେ ଖାଉଛେ, ସବୁଦିନ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଛେ, ମାତ୍ର 1.5 କେଜି ଆମେ ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଖାଉଛେ, ତାର 3 ଗୁଣ, 4 ରୁ 5 ଲିଟର ପାଣି ଆମେ ପିଉଛେ, ତାର 3 ଗୁଣ 15 ରୁ 16 ଲିଟର ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ବାୟୁ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଛେ, ପବନ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଛେ ଜୀବନ ଶକ୍ତିକୁ ବଢେଇବା। ଖାଦ୍ୟ ନ ଖାଇଲେ ଆମେ 3-4 ଦିନ ରହିଯାଇ ପାରିବୁ, 20, 21 ଦିନ, 22 ଦିନ, 25 ଦିନ, 50 ଦିନ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଜଣେ ବଞ୍ଚି ଯାଇପାରେ। ପାଣି ନ ପିଇଲେ 5-7 ଦିନ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଜଣେ ବଞ୍ଚିପାରେ, ମ୍ୟାକ୍ସିମମ୍ 10 ଦିନ ବଞ୍ଚିପାରିବ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଯୋଉଟା ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଜିନିଷ ସେଇଟା ହଉଛି ଯୋଉ ପବନ, ସେ ପବନଟିକୁ ଯଦି ଆମେ ସବୁଠାରୁ ଯଦି ବ୍ୟବହାର ନ କରିବା, ହୁଏତ ମିନିଟେ 2 ମିନିଟ ଭିତରେ ଆମେ ମାନେ ସମାପ୍ତ ହେଇଯିବା। ସେଇ ଅସଲ ଜିନିଷଟିକୁ ଆମେ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛୁ। ସେ ଅସଲ ଜିନିଷ ଭୁଲି ଯିବା କାରଣରୁ ଆମେ କେବଳ ବାହାର ଛବିରେ ମାତି ଯାଇଛୁ, ବାସ୍ତବତାକୁ ଆମେ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛୁ। ଆଜି ଯୋଉ ଆମର ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ଅଛି, ଯୋଗ ଯୋଗ କରିବା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଆମେ କିଏ, ଆମେ କଣ କରୁଛେ, ଆମେ କଣ ଚାହୁଁଛେ, ସେଇ ଜିନିଷ ଗୁଡାକ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଠିକ ଭାବରେ ନ ବୁଝିବା, ତାହେଲେ ପରମେଶ୍ୱରଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ପହଞ୍ଚି ପାରିବା ନାହିଁ। ପରମେଶ୍ୱର ହଉଛନ୍ତି ଏମିତି ଏକ ବସ୍ତୁ ଯିଏକି ସାରା ପୃଥିବୀ ବିଶ୍ୱ ବ୍ରହ୍ମାଣ୍ଡକୁ ଧାରଣ କରୁଛି। ତାଙ୍କ ସାଥିରେ ପହଞ୍ଚିବା ଏତେ ସହଜ କଥା ନୁହେଁ। ସହଜ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଗୋଟିଏ ଛୋଟିଆ ଜିନିଷ ଯଦି ସମର୍ପଣ କରିଦିଏ ଜଣେ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତି, ତାକୁ ପହଞ୍ଚିବ। ମଣିଷର ଅଭ୍ୟାସ ଏମିତି ହେଇଯାଇଛି। ସେ ଗୋଟେ ବଢିଆ କଥା କହିଲେ ବ୍ୟାସକବି ଫକୀରମୋହନ ସେନାପତି, ଏମନ୍ତ ପାଠର ବୁଦ୍ଧି ଓଲଟା, ମୁଣ୍ଡ ସରୁ ହୁଏ ଗଣ୍ଡିଟା ମୋଟା, ଯିଏ ସେ ବିକୁଛି ବିଦେଶୀ ମାଲ, ଖାଇ ପିଇ ତାର ଫୁଲିଛି ଗାଲ। ମୁଁ ହାଟଭଙ୍ଗା କବିତାର ସୁନ୍ଦର ଭାବରେ ସେ ଲେଖିଛି। ଆମେ ସବୁ ଓଲଟା ପାଠ ପଢୁଛେ, ଓଲଟା ପାଠ। ଆମେ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛେ କହିକି ପାରିବ କିଏ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଆପେ କିଏ ଥିଲେ ତୁମ ବାପା ଏବଂ ତୁମ ବସିବା ପାଇଁ। ନିଜ ପରମ୍ପରାକୁ ଆମେ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛେ, ସଂସ୍କୃତିକୁ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛେ, ମାକୁ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛେ, ମାଟି ମାକୁ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛୁ। ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ମାଟି ସାରା ପୃଥିବୀର ସର୍ବଶ୍ରେଷ୍ଠ ମାଟି, ଯୋଉ ମାଟି ଉପରେ ଆମେ ଠିଆ ହେଇଛୁ, ପୃଥିବୀର ଅଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ଅବ୍ୟକ୍ତ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ଯୋଉ ଅଛି, ପରମେଶ୍ୱର ତିଆରି କରିଛନ୍ତି, ଯାହାର ବର୍ଣ୍ଣନା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ବେଦର ମଧ୍ୟ ବର୍ଣ୍ଣନା ଅଛି, ଉପନିଷଦର ବର୍ଣ୍ଣନା ଅଛି। ଗାନ୍ତି ଦେବା ଗୀତ କଳଗୀତ ଗାନି, ଧନ୍ୟ ତୁତେ ଭାରତ ଭୂମି ଭାଗେ, ସ୍ୱର୍ଗାପବର୍ଗ ହେତୁ ସର୍ବେ ଭୂତେ ଭବନ୍ତି ଭୂୟ ପୁରୁଷ ସୁରତା। ଦେବତା ମାନେ ଯାହାର ସ୍ନେହ ଲଭିବା ପାଇଁ ଦେବତା ସ୍ୱର୍ଗ ସୁଖ ଭୁଲେଇ ନିଜେ ଭଗବାନ ଅବତାର ନେଇ ଅବତାର ଯହି ଭାରତ, ଜନ୍ମଭୂମି ଭାରତ, କର୍ମଭୂମି ଭାରତ, ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଭୂମି ଭାରତ, ଦେବଭୂମି ଭାରତ। ଏମିତି କୌଣସି ମାଟି ନାହିଁ जो माटी रे चंदन है इसी देश की मिट्टी तपोभूमि हर ग्राम है हर वाला देवी की प्रतिमा बच्चा बच्चा राम है जिसका सैनिक समर प्रांगण गाना करती गीता है चंदन है इसी देश की मिट्टी तपोभूमि हर ग्राम है पृथ्वी रे एमती कौन सी देश नहीं जार काठ गुड़ा चंदन ही जाए एमती कौन सी देश नहीं जो समर युद्ध भूमि रे गीता भरी एक महान शक्ति तैयारी हेई पारे एमती कौन सी देश नहीं जहार पानी गंगा पानी विश्व प्रसिद्ध से पानी अछि ये होच मोर प्रिय जन्मभूमि मु सेति पे गर्वित हवा दरकार खुशी हवा दरकार ये भारत में जन्म होइछि एठे मुख्य पे तार कारण जोगम करि पारे परमेश्वर साथ जोड़ी पारे निश्चित निजे अन्य कौन सी देश सेटा संभव नहे अन्य देश लोक जते पंचा वंश खाई उलग्न अवस्था गुंफा भीतर रहउतले से समय आम देश सभ्यता तैयारी हेतला ओंकार झंकार तैयारी हेतला एठे वेदर रचना हेतला एवं रामायण महाभारत भली महान ग्रंथ तैयारी हेतला ये होची आम देशर महत्व ये देशर विशेषता हो जाउछ आज आम भीतर जो लागुची जे आमे जोग करते माने कोन करछे गोटे छोटिया कथा मु कहूची आमे जते बस रे कि ट्रेन रे जाउचे सेते आमे जिनिस गुडा मुंडे कि केही न मुंडो ऊपर आमे कोन करछे गोटे कैरेज अछि से कैरेज ऊपर हम थोई दोछे ताले आमे आराम शांति रे बसी पछे सोई पछे ताई जे भाबी हम जिनिस पत्र गुडा मु मुंडो ऊपर मुंडे कि नेबी काई से थोई ताले मुंडोडा भारी हेइ जिवो एबे जो विश्व ब्रह्मांड जते कथा होची से परमेश्वर के पाखे जदि हम निवेदन कर देले सब कथा हमर दुख सब चली जिवो एई कथा के बुझी गले जो गोडा बुझी गले जदिन समस्त अरे मोक्ष होई जो हम मोक्ष वाला बड़ बड़ बही बड़ बड़ लेखा बड़ बड़ वक्ता आछंदे छोटिया कथा बाय बाबा कहले जे मूर खेय मोक्ष जो दिन मु मोकर छाड़ देवा हम से दिन मोक्ष हेले एते कथा हम संस्कृति परंपरा अछि बड़ा आनंद लागला जे आमे एई जो परिवेश भीतर रही छे परिवेश को रक्षा करिया समझते ये होची पर्यावरण पर्यावरण परमेश्वरंकर सृष्टि एगुडा सब आमे तैयारी करनु ताको संरक्षण करिया ताको संवर्धित करिया ताको विकसित करिया हमर होची दायित्व मु आज देखला बेले भल लागला एते सुंदर जगन्नाथंकर आमे दारु ब्रह्म को पूजा करछे और सब कोसरी उत्कल जननी जेते गीतटी पढुतले वास्तविक जार रोमांच हो नथिला जा मन भीतर सिहरण जागा नथिला वास्तविक से काठ कुंडल भली थिया हेतली से कितने सुंदर वर्णना वर्षाणाम भारत श्रेष्ठ देशाणाम उत्कल श्रेष्ठ उत्कल से सम देश देश नास्ति मयपुरे अरे एमिति देश समस्त कहती उत्कल जो वर्णना करछथि ए माटीर विशेषता होची जे एठेरे हमर गोटे छोटिया कथा कहूची हमर भुवनेश्वर गोटे ऑल इंडिया कॉन्फ्रेंस हेतला ऑल इंडिया कॉन्फ्रेंस रे सब लोक आस्तले सारा भारत वर्ष पृथ्वी रे विभिन्न प्रकार देश आस्तले से खाई सेला परे कहले गोटे कथा कहले हरीश भाई आमे जोटा कहूचु आमे जोटा खाइलु बोते अमृत खाइलु ना आमे खाद्य खाइलु हम जानि पाइलु ना ए खाद्य हम कोन से जगह मु तो भारत वर्ष विभिन्न प्रकार जगह बुझी कि ओडिशार खाद्य कौन सी जगह मिले नहीं तार एक माटी रे स्रष्टा होचि जगतनाथ जगन्नाथ कितने प्रकार भोग से व्यवहार करते आउ जो माटी हम तैयारी हेचे भाई भौणी माने समस्त मन रखंतु मोर भाग्य ए माटी में तैयारी हेचे मोर अहोभाग्य ए माटी में जन्म हेचे आउ से कथाटी कहले जब गांधी जी कहले वी गॉट इंडिया यूनाइटेड आम भारत एकाठी कले तार उत्तर गांधी जी कौन कहले देयर आर 4 मठज आर 4 कर्नर ऑफ इंडिया चारिटा मठ हम चारिपटे रखीचु तमे सेटा तैयारी करनथलो बद्रीनाथ द्वारिका पुरी रामेश्वर कले परमेश्वर गाधाती पवित्र गंगा जल बढ़िया बर्षण पिंधती द्वारिका खाइया को पुरी पड़े आसती सोया रामेश्वर पड़े जाती तमे केबे तैयारी कल राम कहानी ब्रह्म ज्ञानी गो माता तुलसी माता ये भारत आत्मा आपको जो आम काढ़ी दौचे भारत वर्ष वंचित हो जाए अलग हो तेणु ये योग दिवस आमर जब गोटे कथा परमेश्वर खातिर जोड़ीदेवा ये कथा गोटे मिनिट मुझे कहि से विषय आम विज्ञान समस्ते अच्छे विज्ञान पाठ पढ़ुचे मु भी विज्ञान शिक्षक दीर्घ दिन धरिकी 38 वर्ष धरिकी हाईस्कूल में विज्ञान पढ़े पिला बुझे परमेश्वर कौन साथ जोड़ी है केमती विभिन्न प्रकार लोक विभिन्न प्रकार मत पोषण कर आम भीतर लड़ाई करती किंतु सर्वदैव नमस्कार केशव प्रति अच्छा आम पृथ्वीर 9टा पृथ्वी भली 9टा ग्रह को लेकिन आम सूर्य गोटे अच्छे यहाँ कहते सौर जगत आम पृथ्वीर लक्ष लक्ष 30-35 उपग्रह ये ग्रह मान चारिपटे बुलूं गोटे सूर्य ये सूर्य केतोटी सूर्य अच्छा पृथ्वी में विश्व आम जो देखुचे केते सूर्य अच्छा कोटि कोटि सूर्य अच्छा एक कोटि कोटि सूर्य को लेकिन गोटे निहारिका या निहारिका केतटा सूर्य अच्छा आम सूर्य ठार लक्ष लक्ष गुण सूर्य बड़ अच्छा केते निहारिका केतटा सूर्य अच्छा आम मोल जब विषय पढ़ी एक मोल 6.023 × 10⁻23 6023 20टा शून्य जीटा सूर्य से सूर्य आम निहारिका अच्छे ये निहारिका जी सूर्य जमी 9टा ग्रह को नियंत्रण करमती 20टा एक मोल सूर्य को गोटे निहारिका नियंत्रण कर कोटि कोटि निहारिका महाकाश अच्छी जी समस्त नियंत्रण कर सी हूँ परमेश्वर सी हूँ सर्वशक्तिमान सी हूँ सर्वज्ञ सर्वव्यापी जहाँ मुझे देख जहाँ शुणी जहाँ भावी मने जगतर नाथ परम ईश्वर जानुंट अनुच्छा से परम स्रष्टा समस्त आम भूली गले दुनिया सब कथा किसी जाने जिते छुआ रखु जिते पाठ पढ़ू जिते बहले सी देखू किंतु जो स्रष्टा आमको पठे से स्रष्टा यदि आम भूली गले दुनिया किसी जाने महामूर्ख आम तेणु से स्रष्टा को जोड़ी हेबा एक भाग्य आमर तार ना हूँ योगा यही योगा दिवस मुझे समस्त हार्दिक कृतज्ञता साधुवाद जनार अधिकार मोर ना कृतज्ञता मुझे जनाऊँगी एमती योग हो निरोग रहतु शारीरिक मानसिक आध्यात्मिक स्तर में समस्ते सुंदर सुषम भारत वर्ष हो एक परम वैभवशाली राष्ट्र हो जो राष्ट्र के पतित दलित नमित न हो एवं ये एक एमती एक राष्ट्र हो जो राष्ट्र सारा पृथ्वी ज्ञान वितरण करथिला सेमती एक राष्ट्र आम तैयारी करिया भविष्यतर वंशधर मान आम पाखे अच्छा सबुदिन योग करूँ आत्महत्या करूँ ना मनुष्य आम भगवान आम सृष्टि पठे आम संग्राम कर बंचा एक दिव्य भव्य भारत वर्ष तैयारी करके आम फिर भविष्य तैयारी करिया यह काम्य भारत माता की जय।
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now I would like to request Sri Maheswar Chandra Naik, sir, Registrar of Vikram Dev University, Jeypore, to give the address.
Respected presiding officer, Francis Barla, head of the Department of Philosophy, respected chief guest, Honourable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Professor Devi Misra, sir, respected speaker, Harish Parida, Environmentalist NGO from Malkangiri, respected chairperson, PG Council, Vikram Dev University, Dr. Kumar Patra Assistant Professor of the Department of Philosophy, all the respected teachers present here, and the guests, my teacher, Professor Amulya Kumar Mohapatra, Professor of Philosophy, Devi College Koraput, and we have with us the PhD scholar and teacher of Asian Institute of Physical Science from Maheswar, and we also have with us a yoga guru of the town, Sri Sir, and all the dear students. Actually, I feel extremely happy to have been invited and be a participant in this seminar on yoga. Yoga is a very profound phenomenon that has taken place in the Indian civilization. I am just aware of yoga. I actually am yet to acquire any knowledge of yoga till now. I am in the process of knowing yoga actually. As we all know, yoga is not a new phenomenon. It has been there since the evolution of Indus Valley civilization, and which is as old as more than 5,000 years. As Professor, our Vice Chancellor was mentioning, yoga, which means to unite the body, mind, and spirit of a human being, and it began as a means of spiritual growth too. Now it has come to a point where we practice yoga, as everybody knows, and many of you must be doing it also, to reduce our weight and gain longevity, how to live longer in life. That has been the motto right now at the present situation, and be free from diseases and ailments. We don't want, actually, a good health is the most important and probably the most blissful experience in our existence. Good health. That is the best thing that can happen to anybody's life. So we should all practice yoga. Now, as such, we are living in a time where technology, machine, and factories are the most prime in our existence. But there is no machine, no factory, which is more than or even equal to a human body. Human body contains the system. It contains the God-created machine, which has skeleton, body mass, muscles, respiratory system, digestive system, reproduction system, brain, and everything. It's a system which is run by itself. It's automated. It is self-propelled. Nobody is actually managing from outside. It's such a machine that we carry in our body. It is so amazing. It has been the most intriguing phenomenon of the entire evolution of life. We will keep wondering till the mystery is resolved. The mystery cannot be resolved actually. We are just thanking God for to have created life like a human body or any life of that matter. So to manage that life, we have to do something from outside. And as our speaker, Srijukta Harish sir was mentioning, yoga is the most appropriate physical and spiritual activity we can manage our body in its perfection, so that we can not only be elevated to a spiritual level. If we practice, actually we have seen our saints, munis, and gurus have attained the status of God. Many people even they have come to place like Jeypore also. Gurus have come here also. When we touch their feet and we worship them like our gods. So how have they attained that status? It is definitely yoga. Yoga has taken them to a level where we treat them as gods. Right? So yoga now in practical life, it has become so necessary in the age of these modern times. We use it to reduce our weight and elongate our life. So I would definitely welcome all of us, all the people, students especially, who are present over here. And as our chief speaker, Sri Registrar was saying, you are the future generation of our country. We need to focus on it. We need to practice it so that we can not only be a good citizen. We will, as it has been there to, self growth. It has been there to help us for our spiritual growth, our self realization and self inquiry to know ourselves better. Over the time, it has been systematized by Patanjali into 8 limbs, and now in modern times, it has become so globally popular. In every corner of the earth, every corner of the world, people are practicing yoga these days. The moment we open mobile phone, like social media, there are so many people who are practicing yoga. That is why how it has become so popular, and it is not only on an individual level, it is happening it is supported by the government of India. We have recently conducted yoga international, we have observed international day of yoga. So the importance of yoga has been realized by every individual, every community, every country, everywhere. Right? It has been empirically proved, and now since it has been a stream of knowledge, we have with us a professor, PhD scholar with us who has done his PhD in yoga. So that kind of things there. Universities are being established in various parts of the country and overseas also to impart knowledge on yoga. So it is a great opportunity that we have with us to give us both theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge on yoga, which is going to be very, very essential, very, very important part of our life, which can sort of manage our life. And as he was saying, it is not only in the context of our university campus, it will make us good students, so that it will shape our mind where negativity will be removed. And as everywhere it is happening, ragging, sexual harassment, these kind of things are happening. Even today we have seen it. So once we practice yoga, since it gives it focuses on spirituality, definitely our mind will be oriented towards a campus, towards a university where such things will not happen. That is what yoga will directly contribute to our life. With these words, I thank Professor Patra and Professor Barla to have invited me to be a participant, be a part of this seminar. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I call upon Dr. Kumar Patra, CPGC of Vikram Dev University, Jeypore. Please come over here to share your valuable thought with us.
धन्यवाद। जय जगन्नाथ, वंदे उत्कल जननी। सम्मानस्पद श्रद्धा कुल सचिव प्रोफेसर देवी प्रसाद मिश्र सर, सम्मान श्रद्धा कुलसचिव श्री महेश्वर चंद्र नायक सर, सम्माननीय अतिथि श्री हरीश चंद्र परिडा, एनवायरमेंटलिस्ट परिवेशविद, सम्माननीय विभागीय मुख्य फ्रांसिस बार्ला सर, सम्माननीय ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरीज of these meetings, Dr. Lakshman Patra sir, all the resource persons जो माने मंच सम्मुखरे विद्यमान अछंती, समस्त अध्यापक प्राध्यापक वृंद एवं ऑनलाइन रे सामिल हेतिबा प्रोफेसर गणेश सर मु आपनकु आभासी माध्यम प्रणाम जनाऊँ एवं मोर प्रिय छात्र छात्री वृंद, मोर गोटे सौभाग्य आज मु जहाँ कहबी निश्चित रूपे मो डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फिलोसफी बोथ लक्ष्मण सर एवं फ्रांसिस बार्ला सर को धन्यवाद देवी मते दुई पद कहवाई सुजोग देथिबारे एवं मु आउ गोटे सौभाग्य पाइली मु शेष रे कहली कहया सुजोग दे जहाँ फल मु जो स्पीकर माने कही जाइछंती बहुत किसी कथा शिखिली मध्ये समानकु बहुत हृदयस्पर्शी थिला समानकर भाषण एवं मु आज गोटे जिंस परिलिखित करूची आज जो मीटिंग की ऑर्गेनाइज कराइछि एकेडमिशियंस अछंती बहुत बड़े अछंती स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम ओएसडी देवी प्रसाद मिश्र सर आरंभ करके बहुत एकेडमिशियंस अछंती, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर सर मान अछंती जेमि लाइक हमर रजिस्ट्रार सर अछंती, परिवेशविद अछंती, योगा एक्सपर्ट जो मान अछंती से मान अछंती एवं जानको पानी हमें करूछे जो ई मीटिंग टी समस्त प्रिय छात्र छात्री वृंद अछंती एटा गोटे परम सौभाग्य विषय एवं जो ये मीटिंग टा जो ऑर्गेनाइज होची मु कहि गोटे संतुलित भाव रे एटा प्रतिष्ठित होबाक जाछि। मु परिवेशविद हरीश चंद्र परिडा सरंकर सुनुथिली जेतु दीर्घ 38 वर्षर शिक्षा अभिज्ञता से बहुत जिनस कहिसंती किंतु आज जो प्रासंगिकता अछि जे योगा कौन योगा में कहीं आर प्रसंग ये उपस्थापन करबा कौन पाइटा योगार आवश्यकता अछि कहबा पूर्व मु जेहेतु जने बॉटनी गोटे असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर इन बॉटनी मु किसी डाटा उपस्थापन करिबी एवं से डाटा को बेस करके हमें योगा सहित हमें संयोग करबा ताहले जाइकी हमें आर निष्कर्ष रे किछि पहुंचीबा। डाटा मु कलेक्शन करिछि मोर निजस्व डाटा नाही जो डाटा गुडा को ऑथराइज्ड अछंती मु गोटे प्रथम मु चारिटा आज जो फोकस डिजीज जो सांघातिक डिजीज हम जो कहबा जोटा प्राणनाशक डिजीज कथा कहबा ता ऊपर केतना मु चारिटा को मु चूज करिछि मोर पैरामीटर्स हिसाब रे से ऊपर मु कहबी देन ताको पिला माने मु जोग सहित संयोग करिबी। प्रथम ढेला पिला माने मु जो चारिटा कथा कहबी प्रथम ढेला ओबेसिटी मेद बहुलता डाटा कहूची अकॉर्डिंग टू वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन 2024 रो डाटा मु कहूची 35 मिलियन चिल्ड्रन अंडर द एज ग्रुप ऑफ 5 they are under obesity, remarkable number. Again data कहूची जति हम जति ग्लोबल रैंक देखिबा हमर इंडिया रो रैंक कला 180 in the world global rank, that is according to World Obesity Federation. तारो डाटा अनुसारे 5.38% of people under the obesity. Underline this one. Again, that is 2024 ही डाटा हम कहिबे जो डाटा रे 880 मिलियन एडल्ट एथरे ओबेसिटी अंडर रे रहिसंती से भितरु 159 million children under the obesities according to World Obesity Federation. This is all about your obesity. Then come to the heart attack. I mean सब देखुचे सुनुचे प्रत्येक दिन आमर संपर्क हो आमर साई पड़िसा हो आमर गाँ हो शहर में प्रत्येक दिन किसी ना किसी सुनुचे तार भी किसी डाटा तम पखरे में रखिबा चाहिए सेठी प्रत्येक 6 सेकंड रे नॉट मीनिंग प्रत्येक 6 सेकंड रे वन गोटे पर्सन इज नॉट किसी रेस्ट्रिक्शन कराइनी गोटे जन प्राण त्याग करुचंती ड्यू टू द हार्ट अटैक सेथिरु 50% ऑफ जोड़ा हार्ट अटैक डिजीज रे प्राण त्याग करुचंती से भितरु मोर देन 50 years एज लोक माने 50% एंड मोर देन 40% जोड़ा 40 रु 50% जोड़ा से मानकर 25% तांकर भाग रहिछि 2021 सेंसस अनुसार जोड़ा हमर जो कार्डियोवास्कुलर जो डिजीज कथा कह जाउछि 20.5 मिलियन डेथ वर्ल्ड वाइड होछि प्रत्येक वर्ष जोटा कि 21 रे हितला सेटा डाटा फ्रॉम वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन this is all about what that is cardiovascular disease another कथा कहबी मो असली कैंसर को कैंसर आजिकली आमे भाबुतले कैंसर ता बहुत धनीशील व्यक्ति को होतला किंतु आदि काली साधारण लोकों को मध्य होछि कौन मु डाटा दउछि इन दैट इज इंटरनेशनल एजेंसी फॉर रिसर्च ऑन कैंसर डाटा को मोटी उपस्थापन करबा को चाहिबी सेतु हम देखुछे 20 million new cancer added in the year of that is 2024 एवं सबुठु बड़ गुरुत्वपूर्ण कथा हला जोटा मी शेषरे मु कहबी जार डाटा देबी डायबिटीज आगु खाइबा फिरबा घर लोक मान को होतला वयस्क लोक मान को होतला आजिकली कॉमन पीपल एज मध्य कम एज लोक को मध्य हेछि मु खाली डाटा गोट देबी सेतिर अछि प्री डायबिटिक जोटा कि हमर परसेंटेज अछि इंडिया रे 22.25% अछि एंड डायबिटिक पर्सन्स अछंदी 27 to 28% ऑफ डायबिटिक पर्सन्स अछि एंड एटाला इंडियन काउंसिल ऑफ मेडिकल रिसर्च डाटा सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट योर माय डाटा जोड़ा कि आमे आपको गुरुतर सहित आमे नबा आवश्यक सो ए डाटा सहित आमे कोन आमे बुझिबा कोन दरकार पिला माने आर जो आज आमे जो एकत्रित हेइसे को प्रसंग एकत्रित हेइसे एवं आम पाखरे कोन गुरुतर समस्या अछि जो समस्यार समाधान आम पाखरे अछि से जिनसटा को आमे डिस्कशन करिया पई आमे इति समस्त उपस्थित अछंती बहुत योगा गुरु मान अछंती योगा एक्सपर्ट मान अछंती से माने योगा विषय रे कहिबे मु खाली एतिक दिन से कहिबे पिला माने हमर आमी जानि छे स्वास्थ्य ही संपद आमी पिला टू पढी छे स्वास्थ्य जदि नाही तार किछि नाही तमे स्वास्थ्य ही संपद से स्वास्थ्य को जदि हमें सुरक्षित रखिया पई हमको संतुलित पूरे जीवन यापन जीवन चर्या जो कहउचंती ताको हमको पालन करियो पड़िबो ता माने में अनुशासन भीतर हमको रहबा दरकार जा फल में सुस्थ जीवन दिए हमें जी परिबा ए पृथ्वी पृष्ठ रे मंडल माने ए जो सुस्थ जीवन कथा जो हम कहउचंती जीवन चर्या जो कहउचंती सेठी आमे समस्ते हमर निजर सुस्थ जीवन को सुरक्षित रखि परिबा किंतु हमको दरकार दृढ़ संकल्प दृढ़ मन हवा आवश्यक ताहले जाय कि आमे आम स्वास्थ्य को आम हाथ रे रखि परिबा नहले केबे मत एटा संभव हे परिबो नाही योगा जोडा कि आमे जो कहूचे जोडा कि बहुत बड़ी रोगर निराकरण जोडा कि माध्यम मु ई परिप्रेक्षी रे जो योगा दिवस जेतु होउची मंडल पिला माने एटा योगाटा आजिरो कांसेप्ट मो वैदिक पीरियड रो एटा आसी ऋषि मुनि ऋषि माने एटा को से माने बहुत भाव में व्यवहार करथिले किंतु मु आजिर ए जो आमे जो 21 शताब्दी रे जदि आकु जदि मु जदि श्रेय देबा को चाहिबी मु दुई जन को श्रेय देबी जोगटा को जो घरे घरे जे प्रतिष्ठित करि पारले प्रचार एवं प्रसार कले से आजिर दिन रे मु निश्चय मने पकेबी से बाबा रामदेव को कहीं से ये जो 20-25 वर्ष पूर्व एवं सेकेंड है इलेक्ट्रोनिक्स गणमाध्यम मु जो दुईटा कथा कहली एक बाबा रामदेव द्वितीय है इलेक्ट्रोनिक्स गणमाध्यम जोटा रही दुईटार साहाय्य योगा कौन घरे घरे प्रवेश चला माने मु पढ़ी जदि 2005 मसीह जदि बाबा रामदेव या उपरे बहुत किसी माने पदक्षेप नहीं एवं ताको सपोर्ट देछि इलेक्ट्रोनिक्स गणमाध्यम प्रत्येक घरे पहुंचला एवं प्रत्येक घरे से मु 2005 जो नुआ नुआ कॉलेज रे जॉइन थाए से समय बहुत गुडे एक्टिविटीज गुडा होतला योगा ऊपर एवं बाबा रामदेव को आदर्श रूपे से माने गले थिले निश्चित रूपे आज ताको मु मने पकेबी एवं निश्चय आज से माने धन्यवाद रो पात्र मध्य पिला माने हमको दरकार योगा जोटा कि योगा जो हम जे कहूचे गोटे शारीरिक को शरीर को संतुलित भाव मन प्रयोग करिवो एथि भितर हमको किछिटा करबा दरकार सर मते इंगित कर सलेनी 2 मिनिट भितर बर्तन मु सार देबी चेष्टा करिवि कहिना बहुत जन स्पीकर अछंती क्षमा प्रार्थना करूची जदि किछि लंबा हो जाईछि किंतु मन रखला माने हमको गोटे आध्यात्मिक चेतना भितर जदि हमें से परिवेश को आसीबा देखिबो आम मानकर विभिन्न प्रकार जो जीवन चर्चार परिवर्तन ऑटोमेटिक आसीबो किंतु हमको आध्यात्मिक चेतना भितर आसीबा दरकार एवं हमर मु जहा जहा अनुमान करूची आजिर दिन रे केवल दुईटी खेल रही गला गोटे हला मोबाइल रे खेल दुई हला क्रिकेट मानिया और तृतीय खेल भारत वर्ष रे नाही ऑल चिल्ड्रंस 6 मास रो पिला जदि से खाउनी मां ताको मोबाइल धरे दोची मोबाइल देखले से बहुत सुंदर भाबे खाउछ सेटा एटा हम घर घरे हमर एटा बर्तन देखुसे तेनु आमे वर्तमान आम पाखरे परिवर्तन हमको निजे को निजे परिवर्तन करिवार समय आसी मु आशा करूची जे आमे समस्ते परिवर्तनशील हबा स्वास्थ्य प्रति जागृत हेबा एवं योगा को जदि आमे हमर स्वास्थ्य उत्तम परि जदि माध्यम हो ताको जदि हमें आपणेबा एथिरे किछि मध्य असुविधा नै समस्त को मननस्य धन्यवाद वंदे मातरम
Thank you, sir. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to invite Capt. Dr. Lakshman Patra, the organizing secretary, to come on the platform for the presentation.
Thank you, all the guests on the dais, my dear students, for your thought-provoking deliberation on yoga. वर्तमान हमारा कल्चर जहाँ संस्कृति परंपरा रही अतिथि देवो भव ए अतिथि मानू डिपार्टमेंट तरफ आम गोटे छोटिया उत्तर आनीचु जोटा आम सम्मानित करूँ तेणु आम भाइस चांसलर को अनुरोध करी से आम आज सम्मानित अतिथि हरिश्चंद्र परिडा सार को सम्मानित करेंगे। सम्मानित अतिथि को अनुरोध करी से आज आम मुख्य अतिथि भाइस चांसलर को सम्मान करें। भाइस चांसलर को अनुरोध करी आज कुल सचिव सर को सम्मान करें। हरीश सर को फिर अनुरोध करेंगे से हमारा सीपीजीसी डॉक्टर प्रसाद जी और पत्र को सुनिए। भाइस चांसलर को अनुरोध करेंगे आज हमारा कीनोट एड्रेस स्पीकर जे ऑनलाइन रे अछंती तांको मात्र सम्मानित करिवे तांको तरफ मो रिसीव कर दोछु आ वर्तमान अनुरोध करी अमूल्य स्थान को भाइस चांसलर सम्मान करें। कुलतोड़ा दियो सर को अनुरोध करी प्रोफेसर दिनेश स्वाई सर अनुरोध करी हमारो योगा इंस्ट्रक्टर भागीरथ प्राणी सर को भी अनुरोध करी हमारो बाला सर को सम्मानित करेंगे।
Now I would like to request our esteemed chief guest, Professor Devi Prasad Misra, Vice Chancellor, Vikram Dev University, to felicitate our respected Captain Dr. Lakshman Patra sir, organizing secretary. Without further delay, now I would like to request Ms. Priti Swain for propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Respected Chief Guest, esteemed guest of honor, Honourable Vice Chancellor, Registrar, patrons, organizing members, faculty members, and dear participants. A very good morning to one and all. It's my honor to privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the Department of Philosophy, Vikram Dev University, Jeypore. We are indeed grateful to each one of you for gracing this seminar on yoga with your valuable presence and making this event a resounding success. First and foremost, I extend our heartfelt thank you to our Chief Guest, Professor Devi Prasad Misra, Honourable Chancellor of Vikram Dev University, for this gracious presence and inspiring address that set the tone for today's event. Our sincere thanks to the guest of honor, Sri Harish Parida sir, renowned environmentalist, for his insightful words and encouragement. We are deeply thankful to our respected patrons, Sri Maheswar Naik, Registrar, and Dr. Prasad Kumar Patra, CPGC, for their continuous support, guidance, and motivational addresses. I extend my special heartfelt gratitude to retired Professor Ganesh Prasad Das sir, formerly head of the department, Utkal University, Bhubaneswar, who is the backbone of this seminar, and your insight and scholarly reflections have truly enlightened us and added great value to this program. As well as, I would like to extend my vote of thanks to retired Professor Amulya Mohapatra, formerly Principal Government College Koraput, and Professor Dinesh Prasad Swine, Department of Yogic Science, AIPH University, Bhubaneswar. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to thank Sri Bhagirathi Pani sir for your deep understanding for yoga. Your dedication to promoting wellness through yoga is not only commendable but also highly motivating for all of us. You have beautifully conveyed how yoga is not just for a physical practice but a way of life that brings harmony to the body, mind, and soul. Thank you, sir. A special note of gratitude to Sri Francis Barla sir, head of the department and convener of the seminar, for his dedication in work welcome artists. Thank you, sir. I also extend my thanks to Captain Dr. Lakshman Patra, organizing secretary, for introducing our guests and coordinating the event simply. Let me also take a moment to thank you all the dignitaries, faculty members, staff, and students who have contributed in various capacities toward organizing this seminar. Finally, a big thank you to all the participants, media persons, technicians, and attendants for your enthusiastic involvement. Your presence truly added value to this gathering. Let's carry forward the spirit of yoga in our personal and academic lives as a path toward harmony, wellness, and inner peace. Thank you once again, and I wish you all a meaningful and enriching academic section ahead. Thank you.
The inaugural session is over. We will proceed to next academic session.
सीधा सर सीधा हाँ সেটি অন আছে হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে সেটা একটু বসলা সেটা দেখতে মো অনমিউট করে কই দে
Respected guests on the dais of the dais, now we are going to our first academic session. This session, the today's yoga instructor, Sri Bhagirathi Pani, who is very famous in the Jeypore city as a yoga instructor, a Patanjali yoga instructor. So I invite him to demonstrate different yogasana and how can we remove our stress. Thank you, sir.
ଆଉ କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ଯାହାକି ଆମେ ଜାଣିପାରୁଛେ ତାହା ହେଉଛି ଆମ ଶରୀରକୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଯୋଗ ଏବଂ ବ୍ୟାୟାମ ଦରକାର ଯୋଉଟା ଆମେ ଜାଣିପାରୁନୁ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ବଥା ଆମ ଘରେ ମେଡିସିନ ତାଜା କାଣି ଖାଏ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ବଥା କମିବ କିନ୍ତୁ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ମୁଣ୍ଡ ବଥା ପାଇଁ ବହୁତ ବଢିଆ ପ୍ରାଣାୟାମ ଅନୁଲୋମ ବିଲୋମ ପ୍ରାଣାୟାମ 5 ମିନିଟ କରିବେ ଅଧିକା କରିବା ଦରକାର 5 ମିନିଟ ଅନୁଲୋମ ବିଲୋମ କରିବେ ଇମିଡିଏଟ ଆପଣ ତାର ମୁଣ୍ଡ ବଥା ସାଇକେଲ କ୍ଲିୟର କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଅଧଘଣ୍ଟା ପୁରୁଣା ମୁଣ୍ଡ ବଥା କଷ୍ଟ କର୍ମଚାରୀ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ବଥା ନାହିଁ ଯୋଉଟା କି ମେଡିସିନ ଖାଇଲେ କମି ଯାଉଛି 20 ଘଣ୍ଟାରେ ବାହାରୁଛି ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ମୁଣ୍ଡ ବଥା ତ ବହୁତ ପ୍ରକାର ମୁଣ୍ଡ ପୁରା କେତେବେଳେ କାମ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ଧୋଇଦେଲେ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ବଥା ହେଇଥାଏ କେତେବେଳେ ପୁରା ସାରା ପୁରା ମୁଣ୍ଡଟା ବଥା ହେଇଥାଏ ଯୋଉଟା ମାଇଗ୍ରେନ ଅଧା ମୁଣ୍ଡ ବଥା ହେଇଥାଏ ସେ ସବୁ ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ହେଉଛି ଅନୁଲୋମ ବିଲୋମ ପ୍ରାଣାୟାମ ବେଷ୍ଟ ପ୍ରାଣାୟାମ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ବଥା ହେଉଛି ଆମେ ଏ ବିଷୟରେ ଆଲୋଚନା କରିବା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ମୁଁ ଆଉ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ସମୟ ଦେବି ପୂର୍ବରୁ ବକ୍ତାମାନେ କହିଗଲେ ବହୁତ ସୁନ୍ଦର କଥା ମାନେ କହିଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ ଡାଟା ଦେଲେ ବହୁତ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଡାଟା ଯୋଉଥିରେ କି ଡାଇବେଟିସ୍ ମଧୁମେହ ସେ ଡାଟା ଦେଲେ ସେଥିରୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା ଆମର ଯୋଗ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ ତ ସେଇ ଯୋଗ
ମଧୁମେହ ରୋଗ ତାହା ଆଜିକାଲି ଛୋଟ ଛୋଟ ମାନେ ପେଟରେ ଥିବା ପିଲାକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ହେଉଛି ଗର୍ଭାବସ୍ଥାରେ ପିଲା ଜନ୍ମ ହେଇନି କିନ୍ତୁ ତାକୁ ମଧୁମେହ ରୋଗରେ ସେ ଆକ୍ରାନ୍ତ ହେଉଛି ଯାହାର କାରଣ ଆମର ଦିନଚର୍ଯ୍ୟା ଅନିୟମିତ ଦିନଚର୍ଯ୍ୟା ଯାହା ପରିମାଣରେ ତାକୁ ଆମେ ଢାଳି ଦଉଛେ ଯାହା ପାଇଲା ଆପଣମାନେ ବି ସେଥିରେ କିଛି ଜଣ ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟା ହେଲା ମାନେ ଆପଣ ଦେଖୁଥିବେ ରାସ୍ତାଘାଟରେ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଫୁଡ୍ ଦୋକାନ ଭିଡ଼ ଲାଗୁଛି ସେ ଦୋକାନ ଗଲା ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଲାଇନ୍ରେ ଆସିବାକୁ କହୁଛି ମାନେ ଆମର ଗତି କୁଆଡ଼କୁ ହେଲାଣି ସେସବୁ ବିଷୟରେ ଆପଣ ଟିକେ ଚିନ୍ତା କରନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣ ଖାଉଛନ୍ତି ଠିକ କଥା କିନ୍ତୁ ପରମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତରେ ଆପଣ ମଧୁମେହର मंद वज्रासन वज्रासन देखो प्रथम आप बसले वज्रासन हाथ को मुठा करेंगे हाथ मुठा कर नाभि ठीक नाभि सामना 30 सेकंड है 1 2 5 6 7 एथरे कौन भल हम मन आपंकर अच्छी अग्नाशय जो थे कि अनबर दिन तार किसी प्रभाव कौन प्रकार तार धीर हो जाए आमको जो आसन कर पेन कंटिन्यूस करेंगे जस्ट गोटे आरंभ करेंगे द्वितीयत मान भी बढ़ी जाए कमी थाए जो मान पेट सफा न थाए मनकाकीय प्रक्रिया देखिए प्रथम प्रक्रिया हाथ आप ठीक नाभि उपरे श्वास देवे एमते कम से कम 30 श्वास बर्तमान कर यार द्वितीय प्रक्रिया लेफ्ट हैंड ठीक नाभि उपरे राइट हैंड रखिए स्वास्थ्य छाड़ी सेमती आगे नहीं जाए दृष्टि आपंकर सामना को जी पार्टी तौक नहीं जाए दृष्टि किंतु ये थी आमर मंडकासन यहाँ जो मान को डायबिटीज मंडकास पूर्वक आसन हूँ उष्ट्रासन मंडकासन पर देखने तो नील डाउन पोजिशन को आसी जमी बॉडी को पछ को बेंड करने आप दृष्टि आकाश को रहिबो फिर जो लाभ थायराइड प्रॉब्लम महामारी हो एटा को कम से कम 7 थर करेंगे जो मान ठीक भाव कर किंतु इति भी किसी जन अछंती कंप्लीट सहज यही उष्टा हाथ को एमती रखिए जस्ट आंगुली गुड़ाक तल आड़ को रहा गोड़ मिसिक रोड़र नख गुड़ाक तल आड़ को लगी श्वास नहीं आप जी पार्टी पछ को बेंड करेंगे एथि टे सावधानता रोचे जो मानकर बीपी हाई रोचे किंबा जदि किसी हार्ट प्रोब्लेम रोचे ताहले यहाँ को एवॉइड करेंगे आराम करेंगे जदि किसी फील कर मुंड बुलेला भाई लगुच तो इमिडिएट आप शवासन को आसवे तो ये थी आमर मंडकासन एवं उष्ट्रासन नेक्स्ट आजिकार आउ गोटे एक बड़ समस्या हूँ समस्त पिठियार जंत्रणा होता है अधिकांश पिठियार तो बहुत प्रकार प्रोब्लेम रोचे मेडिसिन खाई खाली कमे दौरान लोक किंतु यहाँ को बहुत सिंपल आसन अच्छी करने द्वारा आपंकर से प्रोब्लेम दूर होता है जमीक स्पॉन्डिलाइटिस खाली प्रोब्लेम दूर होता है आपंकर पिठियार जंत्रणा कहीं हो जानते आप सिस्टम पाखे बस जो कम कर नईक रोचे कि पढ़ला बेले नईक रोचे से आप पिठियार जंत्रणा हो जंत्रणा आप कौन हो भावुए किंतु आप जो सिस्टम पाखे बहुत समय बसुँच द्वारा से हो तो बहुत बढ़िया ऑप्शन अच्छी आमर हूँ गोमुखासन देखी नि जो ऊपर अच्छी अन्य हाथ धरिक ने अन्य हाथ देखा जाओ दो कर ले मेरुदंड सीधा रखिए सेकेंड जो मानकर विशेष जंत्रणा रोचे को कम से कम थर एयरथल करेंगे जहाद्वारा कि आपंकर स्पॉन्डिलाइटिस कांधा जंत्रणा सब दूर होता है यहाँ हूँ गोमुखासन यार नेक्स्ट साइड करवा राइट अबाउट बेंड करना लेफ्ट गोड़ लेफ्ट हैंड सेमती हाथ को लॉक कर लिंतु मेरुदंड सीधा रखिए मुंड सीधा रखिए जदि आप पार्टी श्वास को झटका देकर बाहर करेंगे जमीक कपालभाति प्राणायाम पिठी दूर होता है बहुत बढ़िया आसन यहाँ गोटे तो समस्ते करवा उचित जो मैंने टे कथार रागी जाती चिड़चिड़ापण जार बेसी रोचे से निहाती करने आवश्यक दीटा छोड़ी तले लगे कम से कम 30 श्वास प्रश्वास साधारण भाव रखिए यही आसन करने जो मानकर चिड़चिड़ापण अच्छी दूर होता है जो मानकर बीपी आस्ते आस्ते नॉर्मल को यही जो आसन आप कर आसन करने द्वारा बहुत प्रकार लाभ मिलता है एमती कम से कम 30 सेकेंड रही यहाँ हूँ शशकासन प्रथम प्रक्रिया नेक्स्ट यार करवा द्वितीय प्रक्रिया श्वास नहीं आस्ते आस्ते नॉर्मल पोजिशन को आसीजे गोड़ दीटा बेंड करेंगे। नेक्स्ट आम करिया यार द्वितीय प्रक्रिया हाथ ऊपर उठेले श्वास छाड़ी तौक नहीं जीवे दृष्टि तौक हाथ पाखले कहूणी लगी श्वास प्रश्वास साधारण भाव रही कम से कम 30 सेकेंड श्वास प्रश्वास साधारण भाव रही विश्राम। ये थी आमर शशकासन। नेक्स्ट आम कर वक्रासन। लेफ्ट गोड़ सीधा राइट गोड़ आप लेफ्ट गोड़ आंतरिक पाद राइट हैंड आप मेरुदंड पड़ा भाया बॉडी को ने दृष्टि पछक श्वास प्रश्वास साधारण भाव कम से कम 30 सेकेंड रखिए एमती द्वारा जो कन्स्टिपेशन प्रबल रोचे से निश्चय प्रतिरोध करूँ आप दूर हम पेट अंतर कमी थाए प्रॉब्लम दूर होता है बॉडी पूरा हेल्प करने जो आर्थराइटिस प्रॉब्लम होती बात जनित रोग आंठू गंठी व्यथा होता है ठंडा दिन में ताहा टिके अधिका होता है तेणुक आम जहाँ बर्तमान करते आसन गुड़ाक जहाँकि बिना पैसा कौन प्रकार मान खर्चांत न हुई आम यहाँ मगणार पाई पारे तो बर्तमान आम यार अपोजिट साइड आप रखिए श्वास छाड़ी मुंड को जी पार्टी बेंड करनी जो मैंने वेट कमे को शीघ्र चाहते से कम से कम 11 थर करेंगे नियम पूर्वक करेंगे श्रद्धा पूर्वक करेंगे जहाद्वारा कि जो प्राणायाम कर आसन कर 100% बेनिफिट आपको मिल कम से कम 30 सेकेंड रखिए पोजिशन रे पुणी अपोजिट साइड करवा सब बेले ध्यान रखिए पछाड़ को जो हाथ अच्छी आपंकर मेरुदंड सीधा बॉडी को पूरा बेंड करनी जी पारे बेंड करने दृष्टि पछक आउ थे अपोजिट साइड राइट गोड़ सीधा रखिए लेफ्ट गोड़ बेंड ये थे आम कि छोट छोट आसन गुड़ा नेक्स्ट टाइम आप समस्ते करेगा बहुत बढ़िया है आप निज निज जगह थी करेंगे मेधा शक्ति विकास क्रिया बहुत बढ़िया क्रियाटा यहाँ समस्ते ठिया हो जातु समस्ते ठिया हूँ यहाँ आपण मैंने प्रतिदिन घरे करूँ आप देखिए आप मेमोरी पावर बहुत बढ़िया बढ़ीज ना शक्ति विकास क्रिया किंतु लाभ से केमती अच्छे तौल करेंगे पैरेलल रखिए आखि बंद करेंगे बर्तमान मुझे कहला करेंगे आस्ते आस्ते मुझे 1 ରୁ 10 गणवी हाथ को आस्ते 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 तो ऊपर उठेबे 10 वाला हाथ पूरा सीधा रखिए पूरा टाणी रखिए तो आरंभ कर हाथ आप नमस्कार पसंद आखि बंद रखु आपंकर संपूर्ण ध्यान दुई भ्रूलता मध्य आप जो बिंदी बा टिकली लगुंट सही पॉइंट रे आप ध्यान को केंद्रित करूँ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 हाथ ऊपर आड़ को टाणी रखिए हाथ पाखली मिसिक रहिबो 10 सेकंड रखिए एमती आपसे काउंट करेंगे हाथ को आस्ते आस्ते तोड़ करेंगे आखि बंद रहिबो दुई भ्रूलता मध्य अपना ध्यान को केंद्रित करंतु 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 आखि खोलନ୍ତୁ ଆଉ ଥରେ କରିବା ଏଟା आस्ते आस्ते हाथ ऊपर उठेबे कौन सी सरदर हेबेनी 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 हाथ ऊपर आड़ को टाणी के रखिए 10 सेकेंड रहा आपंकर संपूर्ण ध्यान दुई भ्रूलता मध्य जो आम आज्ञा चक्र अवस्थित सही पॉइंट रे आप ध्यान को केंद्रित करंतु आस्ते आस्ते 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 विश्राम देखला मेधा शक्ति दिखा सकती है असल में किसी अलग किसी फील कि बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद ये आपण मैंने घरे करूँ देखिए आप बहुत प्रकार परिवर्तन आसो आपण मान घरे करेंगे आपण घरे जो माँ बापा अच्छा किसी वयोज्येष्ठ लोक मिसिक करवा कहतु से किसी उन्नति हम द्वितीय नेक्स्ट आम कर आपने सूर्य नमस्कार किए किए जानते आसत आप हाथ उठे आस नमस्कार कर ना आसत आसत आसुझिया आप जानते अधिकांश लोक जिम को जाते जिम को जाते बहुत जन अच्छा जिम को जाते पैसा खर्च कर मासिक फीस दौथे ना तो अधिकांश लोक कौन व्यायाम आसन व्यायाम कौन कर शो कर कौन आम देहर कौन इम्प्रूव हम यही टाइप मनोभाव बहुत लोक अच्छे ଏହା ହେଉଛି ଏକ ଭ୍ରମ ଧାରଣା। ଆପଣମାନେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଆମେ ଯେଉଁ ଆପଣମାନେ ଜିମ୍କୁ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି, ବହୁତ ଭଲ କଥା, କିନ୍ତୁ ସେଥିରେ ଆପଣ ଯେତେ ଡମ୍ବଲ୍ସ ମାରନ୍ତୁ କି ଯାହା ୱେଟ୍ ଲିଫ୍ଟ କରନ୍ତୁ, ସେଥିରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ମ୍ୟାକ୍ସିମମ୍ 100 ବିଲୋ 100 ହିଁ କ୍ୟାଲୋରୀ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ବର୍ଣ୍ଣ ହେଇଥାଏ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଯୋଗରେ ଆମର ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ ବଢିଆ ଜିନିଷ ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ ନମସ୍କାର, ଯୋଉଠିକି 427 କ୍ୟାଲୋରୀ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ବର୍ଣ୍ଣ ହେଇଥାଏ। 427 କିଲୋ କ୍ୟାଲୋରୀ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ବର୍ଣ୍ଣ ହେଇଥାଏ, ଯୋଉଟା କି କୌଣସି ପ୍ରକାର ଏମିତି କିଛି ହାର୍ଡୱାର୍କ ନାହିଁ ଯାହାଦ୍ୱାରା କି ଏତିକି ବର୍ଣ୍ଣ ହବ। ଆଉ ସେଇଟା ହେଉଛି ଏକ 12 ପ୍ରକାର ପୋଜିସନକୁ ନେଇକରି କରାଯାଇଛି, 12ଟି ଆସନକୁ ନେଇକରି କରାଯାଇଛି। ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ବହୁତ ଭଲ କଥା, ଯଦି ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଜାଣିପାରୁନାହାନ୍ତି ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ ଦେଖେଇ ଦେଉଛି। 3 ରାଉଣ୍ଡ ଦେଖେଇଦେବି, 3 ରାଉଣ୍ଡ ଆପଣ ଶିଖିବେ, ଦେଖିନିଅନ୍ତୁ କେମିତି ହେଉଛି। ଯେତେବେଳେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଯୋଗ ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ ନମସ୍କାର କରିବେ, ପୂର୍ବ ଦିଗକୁ ମୁହଁ କରି ଠିଆ ହେବେ। ଯଦି ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ ଉଦୟ କରିବେ ବହୁତ ଭଲ କଥା। ଯଦି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ସେମିତି କିଛି କୌଣସି ସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ, ଘରେ ଯଦି କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣ ପୂର୍ବ ଦିଗକୁ ମୁହଁ କରି ଠିଆ ହେବେ। ଆଉ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯଦି ଆପଣ ଆସନ ଯଦି ମ୍ୟାଟ୍ ୟୁଜ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ୟୋଗା ମ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଯଦି ୟୁଜ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ମ୍ୟାଟ୍ର ଫ୍ରଣ୍ଟ ଆଡ଼କୁ ଠିଆ ହେବେ। ଯଦି ଆପଣଙ୍କ ମ୍ୟାଟ୍ ହେଇଛି ତ ମ୍ୟାଟ୍ର ପୁରା ଫ୍ରଣ୍ଟ ଆଡ଼କୁ ଠିଆ ହେବେ। କାହିଁକି ଆରମ୍ଭ କରେ 1 এটা হচ্ছে প্রথম কোশ্চেন প্রণামাসন। নেক্সট আসন নিচে হাত পছুকে নেবে, ପାଦ ଛାଡ଼ିକିରି ଆଗକୁ ନେଇଯିବେ। ଆପଣଙ୍କର ପାଦର ଠିକ୍ ପ୍ୟାରେଲାଲରେ ହାତକୁ ରଖିବେ। ଲେଫ୍ଟ ଗୋଡ଼ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ପଛକୁ ଯିବ, ଦୃଷ୍ଟି ଆକାଶକୁ ରହିବ। ନେକ୍ସଟ ପଛ ଗୋଡ଼, ନେକ୍ସଟ ରାଇଟ୍ ଗୋଡ଼ ପଛକୁ, ଦୃଷ୍ଟି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ନାଭି ଉପରେ ରହିବ। ଏହାକୁ ପର୍ବତାସନ କୁହାଯାଏ। ଆପଣ ବଡ଼ିଟା ଗୋଟେ ପର୍ବତ ଭଳି ଦେଖାଯିବ। ନେକ୍ସଟ ଅଷ୍ଟାଙ୍ଗ, 8ଟା ଅଙ୍ଗ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ତଳକୁ ଲାଗୁଛି, ଅଣ୍ଟା ତଳକୁ ଲାଗିବନି, ଏହାକୁ ଅଷ୍ଟାଙ୍ଗ କୁହାଯାଏ, ଅଷ୍ଟାଙ୍ଗ ଆସନ। ନେକ୍ସଟ ଭୁଜଙ୍ଗ ଆସନ, ଦୃଷ୍ଟି ଆକାଶକୁ ରହିବ। ନେକ୍ସଟ ପୁଣି ଥରେ ପର୍ବତାସନ। ନେକ୍ସଟ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଲେଫ୍ଟ ଗୋଡ଼ ହାତ ପାଖକୁ ଆସିବ, ରାଇଟ୍ ଗୋଡ଼। ନେକ୍ସଟ ହାତ ପଛକୁ ଗଲା, ଶ୍ୱାସ ଛାଡ଼ିକିରି ଆଗକୁ। ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ରାଉଣ୍ଡ। ଯାକୁ ଟିକେ 1 କରି ମୁଁ ଦେଖି ଦେଉଛି ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କୁ। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12। ଏଇଟା ହେଉଛି ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ ନମସ୍କାର। ଯେଉଁମାନେ କରୁଥିବେ ଜାଣିଥିବେ, ସେମାନେ କିଛି ତ ଡାକି ବୋଲି କହିଲେନି, ଆସିଲେନି ଏଠିକି। ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି। ତ ଏଇ ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ କମ୍ ସେ କମ୍ ଆପଣ ବଡି ଯେତିକି ଆଲାଉ କରୁଛି ସେତିକି କରିବେ। ଆଉ ସମସ୍ତେ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ଯଦି ଆପଣ କୌଣସି ଯୋଗଶାଳାକୁ ଯାଇକି ଶିଖୁଛନ୍ତି, କୌଣସି ଯୋଗ କ୍ଲବକୁ ଯାଇକି ଶିଖୁଛନ୍ତି, ତାହେଲେ ସେଠି ସେମିତି 150-200 କରିବା ପାଇଁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଅଛନ୍ତି। ମୋର ଗୋଟେ ଯୋଗ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ହେଇଛି ଯୋଉଠିକି 2 ଜଣ ଲେଡିସ୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ସେମାନେ 151 କରୁଛନ୍ତି। 151 ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ ନମସ୍କାର ସେମାନେ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ଏମିତି ବହୁତ ଜଣ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ଆହୁରି ଅଧିକା ବି ଅଛନ୍ତି କରିବା ପାଇଁ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମର ଏଟା ହେଉଛି ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ ନମସ୍କାର। ଆଉ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଅଧିକା ଜାଣିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ଯୋଗ କ୍ଲାସ୍କୁ ଯାଆନ୍ତୁ, ଆପଣମାନେ ସବୁ ତା ବିଷୟରେ ଆଉ ଡିଟେଲ୍ ଜାଣିପାରିବେ। ନେକ୍ସଟ ଇଏ ଥିଲା ଆମର କିଛି ଆସନ। ନେକ୍ସଟ ଆମେ ଯିବା ପ୍ରାଣାୟାମକୁ। ପ୍ରାଣାୟାମ ସେମିତି ବହୁତ ପ୍ରକାର ଅଛି। ପ୍ରାଣାୟାମରେ ଏକ ଅଦ୍ଭୁତ ଶକ୍ତି ଅଛି, ଯାହାକି ଆପଣ ନିଜେ ଧ୍ୟାନପୂର୍ବକ କରିବେ, ମାଇଣ୍ଡକୁ କନସେନ୍ଟ୍ରେଟ୍ କରି କରିବେ, ତ ଆପଣ ଏହାର ଲାଭ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ ପାଇପାରିବେ। ତ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା କିଛି ପଦ୍ମାସନ। ପଦ୍ମାସନ ଯଦି ଆପଣ ବସି ପାରୁଛନ୍ତି ବହୁତ ଭଲ କଥା। ଏବେ ପଦ୍ମାସନ କୁହାଯାଏ। ତ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା କପାଳଭାତି ପ୍ରାଣାୟାମ। जहाँकि एक मुख्य प्राणायाम अटे प्राणायाम मध्य यहाँ सम्राट प्राणायाम बोली मध्य देखे आनंद लाभ आम सका राति व्यवहार बिना केमिकल चाउल गहम रांधिले बड़ लोक केवल गो ଖାଇବାକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଇଚ୍ଛା ଲାଗିବନି ଏମିତିକା ସିଚୁଏସନ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ ହବ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ମନ ମାନସିକ ଚିନ୍ତାଧାରା ବଦଳିଯିବ ଶାରୀରିକ ଦୋଷ ଦୂର ହେଇଯିବ ତେଣୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ମୁଁ କହିଦେଉଛି लेफ्ट रे छाड़े यही प्रक्रिया कंटिन्यू करेंगे और जैसा प्राणायाम करेंगे आपंकर लेफ्ट हैंड केवे व्यवहार करेंगे केवल राइट हैंड व्यवहार करेंगे अब आप लेफ्ट हैंड जेकोसी गोटे मुद्रा रखिए यहाँ जमीक ज्ञान मुद्रा यहाँ जमीक आप आकाश मुद्रा मुद्रा तो बहुत प्रकार अच्छे आप समस्ते जानते यूट्यूब सब जाक आसी जाऊँगी आप गूगल सर्च कर सब जगह पाइबे आप जो बॉडी आप शरीर जहाँ प्रोब्लेम अच्छी से प्रोब्लेम ठीक हम से मुद्रा आप बसवे जहाद्वारा कि आपंकर से अनुलोम विलोम जेकोसी प्राणायाम कर तार बेनिफिट आप पाइबे लाभ होती जो मुंड बसा ता तो दूर होता है द्वितीयतः जो दृष्टि शक्ति कमजोर रोचे दृष्टि शक्ति बढ़ी जाए है आम पाखे एमती भी किसी उदाहरण थे आम योग क्लास जन भौणी थे करते यही प्राणायाम को से घंटाटे लेखा करी प्रतिदिन घंटे करेंगे सकाଳେ घंटाटे सन्धारे घंटाटे करी आजकल चश्मा यूज करते नेकड़ा से आराम न्यूज पेपर पढ़ी पार्टी एमती क्या आम दृष्टान्त अच्छे तो या विषय आउ विशेष मुझे कहूनी आउ दिन देखा हम आज कार्यक्रम एतिक बंद कर आप पाखर विदाय नौची ओम लॉन्च करेगा काम करेगा ऊपर कैमरा
No, not audible. अनम्यूट कर म्यूट ହେଇଛି अनम्यूट कर आगो ये कैप्टन पात्र अनम्यूट कर म्यूट करछ सुबुनी
Now it is time our academic session 2. And this session, Professor Das will deliver the keynote address. Before I invite Professor Das, it is my duty, humble duty, to introduce Professor Das, my teacher, my guide, and he is the backbone of this seminar. Professor Das, born in 1945, a 8 years young man, who is joined with online, and is a popular figure, particularly in our Department of Philosophy. Thus, graduated with distinction in 1968, stood first class first with University Gold Medal in PG examination in philosophy in 1970, and got his PhD degree in philosophy in 1983 from Utkal University, Bhubaneswar, Odisha. He served as a lecturer in logic and philosophy under the government of Odisha from 1971 to 1984. Then under Utkal University, where from he retired as a professor in 2005. He headed the department from 1999 to 2001. At that time, I was the PG student. He acted as a visiting professor in Utkal University, Bhubaneswar, Relevance of University, Katak, BBSR University, Paschim Medinapur, and North Bengal University, Darjeeling. He works in the field of analytic philosophy, Advaita Vedanta, and applied philosophy. His publication, including Vedant Parivesa, which is very recently published in the new edition, an analytical study, Darshanika Ganeshwar Misra in Odia, Vidutra Kahani. He has written 2 logic books for the intermediate student, +2 students, part 1, part 2. His papers have been published in reputed journals and anthologies. He was the editor of a Journal of Philosophy and Critical Thinking. He has successfully guided 12 PhD and more than 25 MPhil scholars and 1 PhD scholar. I am the 1 PhD scholar. He was the General President of Indian Philosophical Congress in 2014, General President All Odisha Philosophy Association in 2015, was felicitated by the same body in 2017 for his lifetime contribution to philosophy. So this was a short introduction about Professor Das. Professor Das is not a man, he is an institution. So what I can say, I have no words to express his contribution to philosophy, for the development of not only the philosophy, for the development of social, how can we make a good human, good students. His contribution to the department is very large. So on this occasion, in offline, we miss, but in the online, we are eager to listen to today's keynote address. I invite you, sir.
Thank you, thank you. শুভুচি ঠিক ঘরে? হ্যাঁ শুভুচি ঠিক ঘর শুভুচি না নাই? হ্যালো হ্যালো শুভুচি, রজনী শুভুচি? শুভুচি কি? শুভুচি না শুভুচি নেমো? হ্যালো রজনী শুভুনি? কোন কথা আমি কিছু বুঝতে পারি।
শুভুচি
শুভুচি
ଟିକେ କମା।
শুভুচি রজনী শুভুচি না নেই? হ্যালো শুভুচি না নেই মো?
শুভুচি স্যার, শুভুচি।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, সেই কথাটা রজনী কৌনি না।
से कोड लगे देई तो सेठू कहि होबनी कोड काढी करी आउथरे कहि पड़ला
योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलम शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन जोपाकरोथम प्रवरम मुनीनाम पतंजलिम प्रांजलिर नातोस्मि. I praise Sage Patanjali, who gave us the science of yoga to purify our mind and consciousness, and who gave us grammar and vocabulary to use the words and express ourselves with perfection. He gave us the gift of medicine, that is Ayurveda, so that we remove the impurities of the body. Dear Lord, let me be closer to the sage who gave us all these gifts. I bow down with folded hands in reverence of Lord Patanjali. Respected Vice Chancellor Professor Devi Prasad Misra, Chief Patron, dear Registrar Dr. Maheswar Chandra Naik, OAS Patron, dear OPG CPGC, Dr. Kumar Patra, Co-Patron, all in absentia, dear guest of honor, Harish Parida, Environmentalist, dear Head of the Department of Philosophy, Francis Barla, Convener, dear Organizing Secretary, Captain Dr. Lakshman Patra, dear Professor Dinesh Chandra Swami, dear Dr. Amulya Mohapatra, esteemed speakers, dear Yoga Instructor, Bhagirathi Pani, dear colleagues of the department and sister departments, dear students of the department, dear media persons, and the votaries of yogic pursuit present in the meeting hall, both physically and virtually. Greetings and namaste to you individually and collectively. I thank the organizers for giving me the scope to deliver the keynote address on this Jugaad Day. Jugaad. Yoga Day. Jugaad. Jugaad Day 2025. The caption of the presentation is a critique of Patanjala Yoga. A critique of Patanjala Yoga. Yoga has now almost become synonymous with physical exercises, some aerobic and some breathing among common people to relieve stress, drudgery, mental pressure, blood pressure, diabetes and obesity chiefly, and has become a marketable commodity. On deep search in the web, I found that there is no centralized count as to how many yoga teachers have gone from India to outside countries. As per different sources combined, about 3,000 are in China, about 350 to 400 are moving abroad yearly via private studio demand, about 50 plus through diplomacy or cultural missions, about 600 are there from legacy school networks. However, it is estimated that 5,000 to 10,000 Indian yoga teachers are active overseas as of the mid-2020s, with hundreds more annually entering the global yoga market. My deliberation here would be a philosophical one. Patanjali might not have made any direct mention of the arguments that led him to the assertion of his theories, which some consider as dogmatic. But for a reader who intends to understand him thoroughly, it is absolutely necessary that he or she should read them as far as possible in the light of the inferred presuppositions and inner arguments in his mind. We have two essential texts on yoga, Yoga Sutras of Patanjali and Yoga Shastra, that is the Bhagavad Gita by Vyasa. Yoga Sutra dilates upon yoga concerning body, mind, and spirit. The Bhagavad Gita takes the reflection to a still higher plane so as to make things more clear and more cogent. Surendranath Dasgupta, a prominent Indian philosopher and historian, provides a detailed and scholarly analysis of Patanjali yoga system in his works, A History of Indian Philosophy and Yoga as Philosophy and Religion. His view underlines the philosophical, psychological, and practical dimensions of Patanjali's Raja Yoga, interpreting it as a systematic discipline for achieving self-realization through mental control and liberation from material bondage. Dasgupta argues that Patanjali's yoga system is deeply rooted in Sankhya philosophy to the extent that he refers to it as Patanjala Sankhya due to its pervasive Sankhya influence. He views yoga as the practical counterpart to Sankhya's theoretical framework. Dasgupta highlights the psychological sophistication of Patanjali's system, particularly its analysis of the mind, chitta, and its states. For example, Kipta means agitated, Mudha means silly, and there is another word he does not use, Bimudha. Bimudha is infatuated. Anyway, Vikshipta, perplexed, Ekagra, focused, Niruddha, suppressed. These are the mental states that yoga takes into account, which systematically address distractions and obstacles to liberation. He views yoga as a science of mind control, detailing how practices like meditation and concentration purify the mind from the influence of the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Dasgupta notes that Patanjali introduces Ishvara as a distinct Purusha, untouched by suffering or karma, serving as an object of devotion and a source of knowledge, though not a creator God. More about these concepts would be discussed later in this presentation. Karl H. Potter comments, I quote, of the classical six systems of Indian thought, one yoga is path philosophy and not speculative except in an ancillary fashion. Its sister systems, Sankhya, carries the speculative burden that is says this in presuppositions of India's philosophies. At present, I would like to submit that if Yoga Sutra is a text on the science of yoga, then the Bhagavad Gita surely is a treatise on philosophy of yoga. But if Yoga Sutra is regarded as a philosophical text, as some are inclined to do, I would submit that the Bhagavad Gita is a treatise in metaphilosophy. The Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Sutras both address yoga as a path to spiritual liberation, but their approaches, contexts, and emphasis differ significantly, particularly in relation to Raja Yoga. Some are of the view that Patanjali does not admit a hiatus between science and metaphysics. The realities of metaphysical order, the so-called things in themselves or things as they are not transcendent to the world of phenomena, but are only so subtle that the senses cannot grasp them. He does not make the metaphysics entirely artificial and the science only relative, but with him both are true in their own respective spheres. Far from there being any divide between them, they are connected in one chain of development. Science rules where the mind is being led from concepts to concepts with the dogmatic belief that all knowledge must necessarily start in concepts, move in concepts, and end in concepts. Thinking or knowledge, as we call it, carries with it the belief that it comprehends all that is knowable, though in reality its sphere is so much limited that it can grasp the general notions and these alone. According to Patanjali, I quote, to philosophize is to invert the habitual direction of the work of thought, to practice it not in a random way but in a profoundly methodical manner, gradually to rise higher and higher in the acquisition of the true metaphysical knowledge with a definite end in view, until the highest stage, the one ideal consummation of all metaphysical knowledge is attained. The Prakriti then appears in her own true nature, and her relations with the Purusha are also discerned, and the yogi is absolutely freed from all bondage of Prakriti. According to Patanjali, it is our want of intuition of the reality hidden beneath the continual flow of our varied concepts that is the root of all control exercised by the Prakriti over us. Moral and virtuous actions are here advocated only because they purify the mind and help it to acquire the power of intuition, prajna, by which the real nature of things is revealed to the yogi. In his vision, all obstruction melts away and all reality shines before him in absolute effulgence. Nothing is too small for his intuition and nothing is too great. Now the second section, Patanjali is believed to have been born in Kashi, Varanasi, in the 3rd century, some say it is 2nd century BCE. He is also the author of the Mahabhashya, which is a celebrated commentary on the master Sanskrit grammarian Panini's Astadhyayi, and believed to be the author of a text on medicine called Patanjala Tantra. Thus, Patanjali was not only a great grammarian and a great philosopher, but a great physician too. He prescribed for body, mind and spirit, which is a total treatment of the person. According to some, the word yoga comes from a Sanskrit root which meant to go to trance or to meditate, while according to others, it comes from a root which means to join. Yoke, Y-O-K-E, yoke is the word in English which connotes the same thing as yoga. Yoga would mean the science that teaches the method of joining the human soul with God. The Yoga Sutras is a foundational text in yoga philosophy. It is a collection of aphorisms offering a comprehensive guide to the practice of yoga. It contains 196 shlokas divided into 4 parts. Number 1, Samadhipada, the science of yoga, containing 51 shlokas. Number 2, Sadhanapada, the art of yoga, containing 55 shlokas. Number 3, Vibhutipada, extraordinary powers, containing 56 shlokas. Number 4, Kaivalyapada, that is freedom, containing 34 shlokas. In this Samadhipada, we have definitions of key terms and depiction of the ultimate achievements of yoga. The text begins with Atha Yoganusasanam 1.1. The word Atha is translated as a noun. Noun does not here mean sequence, it means undertaking. Anusasana is translated as teaching or exposition. A point to be noted is that philosophy cannot be taught. It can only be thought. Philosophy is philosophizing. There can be teaching or training in various skills. Philosophy is not pursuit of a skill in this sense. It involves inculcation of a qualified guru in course of samvada. How is Anusasana different from Sasana? Sasana is a discipline imposed on one by others, whereas Anusasana is rules that one imposes on oneself. Sutra 1.2 gives a definition of yoga. Yoga, chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta is consciousness. Vritti is its particular engagements, or in Spinozistic idiom, modes. What is nirodha? We meet the term in Buddhism in the third and the fourth noble truths. Dukkha nirodha. Here nirodha is cessation. In chitta vritti nirodha, it cannot be cessation. In this context, nirodha is restraint or control. Nirodha is synonymous with nigraha. Nigraha is restraint or control. We have in the Bhagavad Gita 3.33 Sadrisham Chestate Swasya Prakritihi Jnanavan api Prakritim Janti Bhutani Nigraha Kim Karishyati. Even a wise person will behave according to his own nature. All things follow their own nature. What can restraint do? Restraint is exercise of control from outside. Discipline from inside is what is needed. The Bhagavad Gita means this, and I think it disagrees with the view of Patanjali. Unless a person is situated on the transcendental platform of consciousness, Jagrata Viveka, one cannot free oneself from the modes of senses. Senses are to be disciplined by buddhi or intellect. The outcome of chitta vritti nirodha, according to Patanjali, is that pure awareness would abide in its own nature. Tada drustuhu swarupe avasthitam. Avasthanam. Tada drustuhu swarupe avasthanam. 1.3. Patanjali subscribes to the metaphysical dualism of Sankhya as discussed earlier. The jivas or human egos are separate individual entities, plurality of person, plurality of purushas, and exist from eternity. So is also Prakriti, and so also is Ishvara. It thus believes in three eternal coexistent principles: the Ishvara, the transcendent principle, the man and the matter. But man is found to be involved in matter, divested of its pristine state of purity. The aim of yoga is to negate this vijoga and free man from the meshes of matter. But the highest form of matter is mind or the chitta, a term which would include that which is technically known as manas, as ahankara, and as buddhi. The first product of prakriti or the root matter is mahat, or the great principle, the buddhi. Then comes the ahankara or I principle, the matter through which functions the I-ness, and then the manas or I, the matter which is the vehicle of thought. These three vehicles, the thought vehicle manas, the I vehicle ahankara, the pure region vehicle buddhi, constitute chitta or the subtlest form of matter. To free man from the fetters of this chitta is the task of yoga. The man, when freed from all vehicles, remains in his own form, that is Swarupa. Pleasure and pain are the marks of consciousness functioning in chitta. Swarupa consciousness is above this duality. Duality of pain and pleasure. How is Nirodha affected? Yoga Sutras 1.12 says, Abhyasa vairagyabhyam tanna nirodha. Restraint comes to be by practice and desirelessness. It may be seen that in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna tells Arjuna that the mind is indeed very difficult to restrain, but by practice and detachment, it can be controlled. That is 6.35. It is said that practice makes one perfect. It is also said that habit is the second nature of man. One's habit matures into one's nature. Abhyasa turns into Abhyasa Yoga. Over and above 18 yogas, the Bhagavad Gita refers to Abhyasa Yoga and one more, Buddhi Yoga. Abhyasa Yoga under Akshara Brahma Yoga and Buddhi Yoga under Moksha Yoga. Continued practice would take the seeker beyond the dualities of samsara, but also take him beyond the domain of buddhi to have aparokshanubhuti of reality. The Gita says, Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya gamina paramam purusham divyam jati arthanu chintayan 8.8 and chestasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya ma paraha mat paraha buddhi yogam upasthitya matcha chittaha satatam bhava 18.57. Abhyasa and vairagya lead to Rutambhara Pragya. That is Yoga Sutra 1.48. This Rutambhara Pragya is but the attainment of a vision replete with Ruta. From Ruta it becomes Rutambhara or Satya. The Bhagavad Gita, which makes a distinction among Jnana, Vijnana and Pragyana, tells who can attain this unwavering wisdom. 2.61 कहले, those who subdue their senses and keep their minds ever absorbed in me are established in perfect knowledge. Tari sarvani sanjamya yukta ashita matapara vasaihi jasyendriyani tasya pragya pratisthita. Then 2.68 Tasmad jasya mahabaho nigruitayani sarvasaha indriyani indriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pratisthita. Therefore, one who has disciplined the senses in making contact with their objects, O mighty armed Arjuna, is firmly established in transcendental knowledge. In this Sadhana Pada, Patanjali discusses the tools and techniques of yoga and charts the path of realization. 3 things are prescribed as sine qua non, indispensable conditions for yogic practice. Number 1, Swadhyaya. Number 2, Tapa. And number 3, Ishwar Pranidhana. Vachaspati's gloss on the third requisite, that is the Ishwar Pranidhana, is that the highest teacher is Ishwara. All actions of the doer are to be dedicated to him. It is on this subject that the following has been said: whatever I am doing, beautiful or ugly, with intention or without intention, I renounce all that on thy account. I do all things with submission to thee. The renunciation of fruit means the doing of an action without thinking of the fruit to be obtained thereby. The following has been said to this connection. It is in the doing of action alone that thy duty lies, never in its fruits. Never make the fruit of action its motive, never become attached to inaction. ये हमें गीता अध्ययन कला जाना पड़ुची किंतु गीता में जोग सूत्र उपरे एटा होची वाचस्पति को कमेंटरी ग्लॉस. The Bhagavad Gita also lays stress on the cultivation of all these qualities that qualify one to emerge as a worthy person in the society. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyam hitam cha yat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva Bhankmayam tapa uchyate. Words that do not cause distress are truthful, inoffensive, and beneficial, as well as a regular recitation of the Vedic scriptures. These are declared as austerity of speech. Then, chapter 16, 1 and 1 to 3, shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita, they say the Supreme Divine Personality said, was Kion of Bharata, Arjuna got discovered. These are the saintly virtues of those endowed with a divine nature. What are those? Fearlessness, purity of mind, steadfastness in spiritual knowledge, charity, control of the senses, sacrifice, study of the sacred books, austerity and straightforwardness, non-violence, truthfulness, absence of anger, renunciation, peacefulness, restraint from fault-finding, compassion towards all living beings, absence of covetousness, gentleness, modesty, and lack of fickleness, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, bearing enmity towards none, and absence of vanity. Then again, 18.42, tranquility, restraint, austerity, purity, patience, integrity, knowledge, wisdom, and belief in a hereafter. These are the intrinsic qualities of work for Brahmins. Brahmins are those who are sattvic in nature and they are engaged in studies of Vedas and Upanishads, creation of knowledge and dissemination of knowledge. We are all Brahmins. But with regard to the concept of Ishvara, there appears to be some difference. I think the Yoga Sutras conceive Ishvara as a transcendent being situated in a non-spatio, non-temporal world. Yoga Sutra 1.24 says, Klesha karma vipakavai अपरो এটা কোন টাইপ ভুলিয়েছি अर्थ होची ईश्वर is a distinct incorruptible form of pure awareness, utterly independent of cause and effect and lacking any store of latent impressions. So from the definition of Ishvara, it transpires that he conceives Ishvara as a transcendent being. The Yoga Sutra states that there are 8 components of yoga: Jama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Samadhaya, Ashtangani. 2.29. Jama is external discipline consisting of Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, and Aparigraha, whereas Niyama is internal discipline consisting of Shaucha, Santosha, Tapaha, Swadhyaya, and Ishvara Pranidhana. Then in the Vibhuti Pada, the terms Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, and Sanjama are defined. 3.1 says, Desabandhaha Chittasya Dharanaha. Concentration locks consciousness on a single area. ଯେମିତି କହୁଥିଲେ ରୋଲତା ମଧ୍ୟକୁ କନସେନ୍ଟ୍ରେଟ୍ କରିକି ଯୋଗ କର, ସ୍ମରଣ ଶକ୍ତି ବଢିବ। Concentration on a particular area. 3.2 तत्र प्रत्यय एकतानता ध्यानम. In meditative absorption, the entire perceptual flow is aligned with that object. गोटे प्रदीप शिखा हो किंबा गोटे तारका हो किंबा कौनसी कल्पना नासागर को हो ये ध्यान कर सिद्धि पाइबा पड़ो। 3.3 तत् एवार्थ मात्र निर्भासम स्वरूप शून्य इव समाधि. When only the essential nature of the object shines forth as if formless integration has arisen. The 3.4 कौच सब जाक मिसी गले त्रयम एकत्र संयम, concentration, meditative absorption and integration regarding a single object comprise the perfect discipline of consciousness. It is interesting to note that all his accomplishments could be realized by one in a flash of spontaneous illumination. एते कष्ट करिया पड़िबनी, फटकिन हे जबो प्रतिभात बा 3.34 जेमति भागवत रे अछि मुंजाकू हुई सदये ज्ञानता हृदयरु उदय. आपको एते परिश्रम करिया पड़िबनी, स्वाध्याय करिया पड़िबनी, गुरु को बुझबा पड़िबनी, मुंजाकू सदये भी ज्ञानता हृदयरु बाहिर. इन साला दास को हृदयरु महाभारत बाहर पड़ला, जगन्नाथ दास को हृदयरु भागवत बाहर पड़ला. व्यासंग तो सब बात. Then last one is Kaivalyapada. Kaivalyapada sets the ways to achieve the ultimate state of samadhi. Patanjali concludes the elucidation of this part and the whole of Yoga Sutra, saying, Purusartha Shunyanam Gunanam Prati Prasabha Kaivalya Swarupa Pratishtha Ba Titi Sakti Iti. Absolute freedom comes when the qualities becoming devoid of the object of the Purusha become latent. Kaivalya as concept in Sankhya Yoga is Kevalata or onlyness. Purusha, the conscious principle, realizes that his existence is independent of the existence of Prakriti and its gunas. In the third section, let us now have a dive into the Bhagavad Gita to find out its stance on yoga. It encapsulates the core teachings of the Upanishads and is put forth as a Yoga Shastra coming from Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidyayang Yoga Shastre, Kolopanikwai Sabuti. Brahma Vidyayang Yoga Shastre. It is divided into 18 chapters, each of which is a yoga with separate names. The first chapter describes the unstable state of mind of Arjuna to fight or not to fight, and it is also a yoga, Arjuna Visada yoga. Very much as every rendition must be in one raga or other. Gita gaila ko jemti konosi na konosi raga re gaiyବାକୁ ପଡେ, so is every point of view concerning thought and action of man that could systematically be stated is termed as one yoga or other. Here is a one-sentence summary of each of the 18 yogas of the Bhagavad Gita. First chapter, Arjuna Visad Yoga. कौन कहले? Arjuna, overwhelmed by despair and moral conflict, refuses to fight in the Kurukshetra war, seeking Sri Krishna's guidance. Chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. Sri Krishna explains the external nature of the soul, urging Arjuna to perform his duty with detachment. Third chapter, Karma Yoga. Sri Krishna emphasizes selfless action as a means to liberation, encouraging Arjuna to act without attachment to results. Number 4, Jnana Yoga. Sri Krishna discusses combining knowledge, action, and devotion, revealing his divine nature and the power of self-realization. Fifth chapter, Sannyasa Yoga. Sri Krishna clarifies that true renunciation involves performing duties with detachment, not abandoning action. Sixth chapter, Dhyana Yoga. Sri Krishna teaches Dhyana Yoga, emphasizing self-discipline, meditation, and controlling the mind to achieve inner peace. Seventh chapter, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Sri Krishna explains the distinction between material and spiritual realms, urging devotion to attain true wisdom. 8th chapter, Akshara Brahma Yoga. Sri Krishna describes the eternal Brahman, the cycle of life and death, and the path to liberation through devotion. 9th chapter, Rajavidya Rajayoga Yoga. Sri Krishna reveals the supreme secret of devotion, promising liberation to those who surrender to him. Vibhuti Yoga, chapter 10, Sri Krishna showcases his universal form, highlighting his infinite divine attributes and cosmic powers. 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. Sri Krishna grants Arjuna a vision of his cosmic form, revealing the divine reality behind the universe. 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga. Sri Krishna extols Bhakti Yoga, stating that unwavering devotion to him leads to liberation. 13th chapter, Kshetra Vibhaga Yoga. Sri Krishna explains the distinction between the body, field, and the soul, knower, emphasizing self-knowledge. In chapter Gunottara Vibhaga Yoga, Sri Krishna describes the three modes of nature: goodness, passion, ignorance, and how transcending them leads to liberation. 15th chapter, Purushottama Yoga. Sri Krishna reveals the eternal tree of existence and the path to attaining the Supreme Purusha through detachment. 16th chapter, Daivasura Sampati Vibhaga Yoga. Sri Krishna contrasts divine and demoniac traits, urging Arjuna to cultivate virtues for spiritual growth. 17th chapter, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Sri Krishna explains how faith, influenced by the three gunas, shapes actions, worship, and lifestyles. Then final 18th chapter, Moksha Yoga. Sri Krishna summarizes the paths of action, knowledge, and devotion, guiding Arjuna towards liberation through surrender. So it would be seen that the structure of the Bhagavad Gita subsumes under it all the aspects of yoga enunciated in 4 parts in Yoga Sutras and stands taller. The points of view laid down in 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita combined make up one grand point of view about the world as a whole and man's place in it. Weltanschauung. That is in German. Weltanschauung means worldview. I would take up 2 core concepts, the concept yoga and the concept Ishvara, in support of my point that the treatment of the same given in the Bhagavad Gita far excels that given in the Yoga Sutras. There is a 4-fold exhibition of the logical geography of yoga in the Bhagavad Gita. Number 1, Samatvam Yogam Uchyate 2.48. Number 2, Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam 2.50. Number 3, Jam Sannyasam iti ahu Yogam tam vidhi 6.2. Then number 4, Tam Yoga Sangitam Dukkha Sanjoga Vijoga Vidyat 6.23. Coming to Ishvara, the Gita conceives Ishvara as a transcendental being. He is not a part of the world of sense, and yet he is not apart from the world of sense. The seat of Ishvara is the essential core of everything and being, avers the Bhagavad Gita. He is the indweller of everything that there is and could be. Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hrud deshe arjuna tishtati. 61. The Bhagavad Gita further proclaims that those who really worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the sense, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all, at last achieve me. Achieve me means becomes a full-bloomed rational being. That is 12th chapter, 3rd and the 4th slokas. Meaning, the Ishvara of Patanjali Yoga is distinguished from the Ishvara of Shankara Vedanta in this, that in the latter, the true existence is ascribed only of Ishvara, whereas all other forms and modes of being are regarded as illusory only. If you ask me to state the whole of the Bhagavad Gita in just one sentence, then here it is. Be nirmana, nirmoha, nissanga, nirmama, nirdvanda, niskama. Act in this steady mindset of yoga. Then the 4th section, Swami Vivekananda, 1863 to 1902, is famous as a propounder of practical yoga. In his seminal work Raja Yoga and other writings, he presents yoga as a practical and universal science of self-realization, emphasizing the systematic discipline of the mind and body to attain spiritual liberation. I quote, through practice comes yoga, through yoga comes knowledge, through knowledge comes love, and through love comes bliss, unquote. Vivekananda democratizes yoga and makes it accessible to people of all backgrounds. He wants to ensure that anyone can practice yoga regardless of religion or culture, with a focus on self-discipline and inner strength. Vivekananda's is a direct path to liberation through intellectual clarity and realization of the principle of Advaita Vedanta. Vivekananda's approach is direct, scientific, and action-oriented, making yoga accessible to all while promoting mental control, selfless service, devotion, and self-inquiry as paths to liberation. His teachings bridge traditional Indian spirituality with modern global sensibilities, focusing on immediate spiritual practice rather than a cosmic evolutionary ideal. Sri Aurobindo, 1872 to 1950, is famous as a propounder of integral yoga, Yoga Samanvaya. He has an integrative approach and terms it as the synthesis of yoga. He presents a comprehensive framework for spiritual growth by integrating various paths of yoga, karma, action, jnana, knowledge, bhakti, devotion, and raja, meditation, into a unified practice aimed at achieving divine transformation and realizing the supramental consciousness. Sri Aurobindo envisions the ultimate goal of yoga as the descent of supramental consciousness to divinize human nature. He lays importance on transformation of the mental, vital, and physical faculties into instruments of the divine. His synthesis of yoga thus provides a holistic approach, blending traditional yogic paths with his vision of integral yoga to achieve a divine life on earth. Quote, yoga is the science, the process, the effort and action by which man attempts to pass out of the limits of his ordinary mental consciousness into a greater spiritual consciousness. Vivekananda primarily expounds on Raja Yoga based on Patanjali Yoga Sutras, while also addressing Karma, Jnana and Bhakti Yoga in a practical, accessible manner for both Eastern and Western audiences. Aurobindo's yoga is more esoteric, aiming for a transformative evolution of human consciousness towards the supramental. Patanjali's system is a structured, practical, and philosophical approach to achieving liberation, kaivalya, through mental control, while Aurobindo's and Vivekananda build upon and expand this framework with their unique perspectives. I conclude with the remark that the Yoga Shastra Bhagavad Gita projects two seminal ideas, Parasparam Bhavayantam Nityam 3.11 and Sarvabhuta Hite Rataha 12.4, which are necessary for a society of human beings with mutual coexistence. These are principles of higher order pertaining to intellectual understanding. But then, the instruments at the lower order, the sensory and the motor organs of the physical body and mind, must be fit and proper to be coordinated with the higher order in order to attain the cherished goal. There must be a sound mind in a sound body, as the saying goes. The Yoga Sutra and the Yoga Shastra intend and assure to take care of this cosmic project. Let us avail of their motherly care. Let us have the Arjuna mindset. Tasmad yogi bhava Arjuna. Sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pasyantu sarve sukhino santu om shanti shanti shanti. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking deliberation keynote address on
साउंड वाला तो और साउंड वाला के सुन म्यूट है यही किसी सुबुनी.
Thank you, sir. Baulare सब thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking deliberation keynote address.
बावला में छाड़िया पे जोग अपन बावला में करो. अरे सब
you have reached the every aspects of Gita from Bhagavad Gita to Patanjali. I have no word to express my gratitude to you. Though you are not available in the offline, but the students have enjoyed your keynote address. Due to some technical problem, we sometimes out of service. Still hope everything has been recorded and it is available in the YouTube. Thank you, sir. I hope if anybody have any doubt, the student will ask you on the phone. Now it is the launch time. There are two speakers. So after the launch, we will start the next program. Thank you, sir.
ये मो खाइबाटा जो माने बांटिकरी खाइथियो सेई माने पचारि परिबे अन्य माने पचारि परिबेनी.
तेणु आम खाइबा तो पठे पारनु आपण खातु फिर हम सहित
खाइबाटा जो माने बांटिकरी खाइथियो सेई माने प्रश्न पचारि परिबे जो चाहिबे अन्य माने पचारिबेनी. जो माने सांग होइकरी खांती से माने सांग होइकरी चिंता कर पारंती.
अच्छा कार किछ पचारिबार अछि पिले पिलाने सामना थिले पचारिबेनी एबे आ से ऑनलाइन रे पचारिबे
से परे पचारे फोन ने पचारे खाई के आसले पचारे जाकर करे बहुत धन्यवाद तुम खाइयो जाओ
थैंक यू सर थैंक यू वी विल मीट अगेन एट 2:30
ओके
ओके नाउ दिस सेशन इज ओवर समस्त अतिथि मानन को एवं स्टूडेंट मानन को कहबे स्टूडेंट माने शीघ्र खाई एपड़े करो हमर गेस्ट माने हमर रूम रे खाइबे तनो ठीक हमें 2:30 रे हमें जॉइन करबा